Good, do one more thing. I'm sorry, I apologize.
Let's start over, right?
Yeah, just start recording.
Let me know when.
Start recording.
Okay. I'll give you the.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it over again.
All right.
We good?
Good.
Okay, once again, good afternoon and welcome to the New York City preliminary budget hearing on the Committee on Consumer and Worker Protection. At this time, please silence all electronic devices. If you have any questions, please raise your hand and one of us is Sergeant at Arms will kindly assist you. So, yeah, we good. Can you get those folks, please? Translation? All right, go ahead, ma'am.
Here you go.
مساء الخير. نرحب بكم في جلسة مجلس نيويورك، مدينة نيويورك الخاصة بحماية العامل والمستهلك. الرجاء أن تضعوا جميع الأجهزة الكهربائية في الوضع الصامت ورجاء عدم الوصول إلى المنصة. شكرا جزيلا.
শুভ বিকাল। নিউ ইয়র্ক সিটি কাউন্সিল হিয়ারিং আসার জন্য স্বাগতম। কনজিউমার এবং ওয়ার্কার প্রোটেকশন কমিটি, দয়া করে ইলেকট্রনিক ডিভাইসগুলো সাইলেন্ট করে রাখবেন এবং ডেস্কের দিকে অগ্রসর হবেন না। এখানে অ্যারাবিক, বাংলা, ফ্রেঞ্চ, ম্যান্ডারিন, স্প্যানিশ এবং ওলফ ভাষাগুলোর অনুবাদ উপলব্ধ আছে। ধন্যবাদ।
下午好，欢迎来到纽约市议会举办的工人和消费者保护听证会。请在这段时间里关闭所有的电子产品。我们是中文翻译员，谢谢。
asalaamaaleykum si bëccëg bi ñu ngi leen di nuyu di ngeen ñëw tawee si meeting dajale council bi New York fii tey daanaka li ñoo wax mooy ne li nga xam ne dafa dem si liggéeykaay ñi nga xam ne ñooy liggéey ak li ñu war a def pour toppatoo affaire yi so daanaka ñi nga xam ne ñooy liggéey fii pour ñu mun a xam naka la affaire yi war a demee laaka li ñoo wax fii ni mooy Arabic, Bengali, French, Mandarin, Spanish and Wolof.
Buenas tardes, bienvenidos al Concilio de la Ciudad de Nueva York que está teniendo esta audiencia. Esta audiencia es el Comité para la Protección de Trabajadores y Consumidores. Por favor, silencien todos sus dispositivos electrónicos y por favor no se acerquen al escritorio o a la zona de escritorios. Los idiomas disponibles son árabe, bengalí, francés, mandarín, español y wolof. Gracias.
Bonjour à tous. Nous vous souhaitons la bienvenue dans ce comité qui est organisé par le New York City Council. Donc en fait, ce comité concerne tous la protection des travailleurs et des consommateurs. Donc merci de tenir tous vos devices déconnectés et merci de vous approcher du desk de tout bureau pour avoir les langues qui sont à disposition, qui sont l'arabe, le bengali, le français, le mandarin, l'espagnol et le wolof. Nous vous remercions.
Chair, we may begin.
Good afternoon and welcome to the fiscal 2026 preliminary budget hearing. My name is Julie Menon and I'm the chair of the Consumer and Worker Protection Committee. Today we'll be reviewing the proposed budget of the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection. Specifically, we will be assessing various DCWP programs and activities to ensure that the agency is serving the public in a fiscally responsible way, as well as meeting the needs of various New Yorkers. For some context, the fiscal 2026 preliminary budget for the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection totals $75.1 million, which includes $37.2 million in personal services to support 475 budgeted full-time positions. This is a sizable increase from the fiscal 2025 adopted budget, and today we'll discuss the reasons for this headcount increase, as well as the agency's vacancy rates. DCWP's fiscal 2026 budget also includes $38 million for other than personal services to cover all other general operating expenses of the department. These funds are primarily allocated to resolve consumer and worker complaints, issue a variety of licenses, educate and protect consumers, and of course ensure that businesses comply with the law. At today's hearing, we'll examine the components of DCWP's budget. We plan to cover a number of topics, and I look forward to hearing about the agency's performance, particularly as it relates to conducting inspections and issuing summons. We also plan to discuss the Office of Financial Empowerment and its new Youth Financial Empowerment Program. The Office of Financial Empowerment is a very important part of DCWP, providing New Yorkers with invaluable financial literacy tools. We'd like to understand DCWP's goals for this new youth program, how the program will be rolled out, and how DCWP will monitor and assess this program. Last year, we spoke about what DCWP could do to help keep tobacco products out of children's hands. I want to note that since we last spoke about this, compliance rates have risen as enforcement efforts have increased. I want to thank you and the agency for all of your hard work in making this happen. We, of course, want to remain vigilant and continue to press this success to continue to reduce the amount of illicit tobacco product sales in the city. DCWP is an agency for every single New Yorker. I always like to say there's no New Yorker that does not have a consumer protection issue, and it helps protect them from harmful business practices and supports workers and consumers in so many important ways. My own personal history working at the agency gives me a unique perspective on these issues that are of deep concern to all of us. I look forward to this hearing on DCWP's preliminary plan and our continued collaboration in our efforts to ensure that New York is safe for all New Yorkers. So with that said, thank you. I want to acknowledge colleagues who are here. We have Councilmember Sean Abreu on Zoom, and I'll acknowledge additional colleagues as they come in. So now I want to call on representatives of the administration to testify. We'll be hearing testimony from Commissioner Vilda Vera Mayuga, First Deputy Commissioner Kenny Minaya, sorry that I mangled that, Minaya. General Counsel Michael Tiger, and Assistant Commissioner for External Affairs Carlos Ortiz. So I'm going to turn it over to Committee Counsel to administer the affirmation.
Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth before this committee and to respond honestly to council member questions?
I do. Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair Menin and members of the Committee on Consumer and Worker Protection. I am Vilda Vera Mayuga, Commissioner of the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection, DCWP, and I am joined by First Deputy Commissioner Kenny Minaya, General Counsel Michael Tiger, and Assistant Commissioner for External Affairs Carlos Ortiz. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today before this committee to testify on the work of our agency and its budget for fiscal year 2026. DCWP is a key resource for all New Yorkers. Our agency provides fundamental consumer and worker protections and financial empowerment programming across the 5 boroughs. We are dedicated to ensuring that consumers who have been exploited or deceived have a route to financial recourse, that workers have a passionate defender of their rights, and that all New Yorkers have the tools and support needed to better their financial health. Our agency's efforts directly impact the lives of New Yorkers, and I am proud of the work we accomplish every day for our city. Under my tenure, we have helped deliver more than $1.3 billion back to New Yorkers through debt relief, restitution, and financial empowerment programming. I'd like to thank all of you for your consistent support and advocacy of our agency's work. Today, I'm happy to speak to you about our successes in the last year, as well as how we plan to continue and expand on that success. Before I do, let me provide the committee with some important background information on the agency. For fiscal year 2026, as you mentioned, Chair, DCWP's preliminary budget is approximately $75 million, with an authorized headcount of 475 and an active headcount of 399. We license more than 45,000 businesses in more than 40 different industries. And last year, our team conducted more than 54,000 inspections and completed over 1,100 investigations on behalf of consumers and workers, securing just over $13 million in monetary relief for New Yorkers. Our financial empowerment centers were visited by more than 11,000 clients, and the NYC Free Tax Prep completed more than 100,000 tax returns for New Yorkers. DCWP serves as the city's central resource for workers in New York City and a dedicated voice in city government for the issues workers face. DCWP enforces key municipal workplace laws that provide workers with greater stability in their schedules, income, and jobs. We strive to ensure compliance with these essential workplace laws and secure restitution for workers who have faced violations in the workplace. These consistent efforts led to our agency securing nearly $8 million in restitution for workers across the city in 2024, and this includes our enforcement of the paid save and sick leave law, our cornerstone workplace law, which recently celebrated its 10-year anniversary, and the Fair Workweek law. We're always looking for new ways to protect and promote labor standards and policies that create fair workplaces for those in our city. 2024 was the first full year that delivery workers earned a dignified pay, and the impacts are outstanding, with wages earned increasing by $700 million collectively. In just a couple of weeks, the MPR will increase to $21.44 to reflect an inflation adjustment so that those who work so hard to keep us fed are able to care for themselves and their families. I'd like to also thank Council Members Nurse and Gutierrez for their proposals to expand minimum pay rate to more of our city's delivery workers with their legislations, introductions 1133 and 1135. We are ready and excited to implement this expansion once the legislation has been passed. Lastly, we always pair our enforcement work with education. To that end, we hit the ground running last year after bringing back an updated version of our popular Workers' Bill of Rights booklet. This small booklet is a huge resource for workers, providing them with an overview of integral city, state, and federal workplace laws, as well as the agency to contact should anyone experience a violation of these laws. To increase knowledge of this and our agency's other resources, our team worked to meet New Yorkers where they are, conducting nearly 300 outreach events for workers, reaching about 33,000 New Yorkers last year. This includes our Day of Action, where my team and I visited major commuter terminals across the 5 boroughs to pass out materials to more than 10,000 New Yorkers in one day. Since our landmark consumer protection law was enacted in 1969, we have been the nation's leading municipal consumer protection agency. And for nearly 60 years now, we have consistently used our authority to protect New Yorkers from deceptive business practices, securing financial restitution for consumers whose rights have been violated by bad actors in the marketplace. Last year, our agency issued nearly 19,000 summonses for violations of our laws and returned $5 million to consumers through restitution and disbursements. When we were here last year, we had just implemented new rules for consumers that had been taken advantage of by home improvement contractors. These new rules simplify the process for consumers to receive compensation from the HIC Trust Fund. And in 2024, we approved nearly 140 claims, distributing nearly $1.2 million to consumers. Our consumer protection team worked diligently this past year to hold deceptive and predatory businesses accountable for their actions. Last year, our case against R.G. Ortiz Funeral Homes brought aggrieved families more than $600,000 in restitution. Our team also took action against the exploitative moving company Dorm to Dorm, securing more than $3.75 million in penalties and restitution. While our efforts serve to make harmed consumers whole, they also send a message that we can and will take action against businesses that prey upon New Yorkers. Altogether, our consumer protection team's efforts have played a major role in the recovery of about $25 million in financial restitution and debt relief for consumers under my tenure. We are dedicated to providing protections to New Yorkers while working to facilitate compliance amongst businesses with the laws that we enforce. Along with our consistent business outreach and education events, our Visiting Inspector Program, or VIP, provides new licensees the opportunity to receive an educational visit from one of our inspectors. And last year, we opened up VIP to all brick-and-mortar retail businesses that are required to be in compliance with our laws, regardless of whether they are required to obtain a DCWP license. In addition to providing key consumer and worker protections, our agency also provides vital financial empowerment resources to support individuals and help households improve their financial health. This year, we are celebrating 10 years of the city's dedicated investment in our New York City Free Tax Prep program. This program offers city residents access to free, professional tax preparation, support, and filing. Our tax preparers are trained to help New Yorkers maximize their tax refunds by optimizing the use of various tax credits. This program also includes our NYC Free Tax Prep for self-employed individuals, offering specialized support for freelancers, gig workers, small business owners, and other self-employed New Yorkers filing their taxes. Last year, our coalition helped file more than 100,000 tax returns through NYC Free Tax Prep, saving clients $56.5 million in fees and helping secure more than an estimated $450 million in refunds for New Yorkers under my tenure. Our New York City Financial Empowerment Centers provide opportunities for New Yorkers to meet with trained counselors for one-on-one confidential financial counseling at no cost. These counselors support individuals in reaching financial goals by establishing budgets, creating spending plans, opening safe and affordable bank accounts, and navigating loan repayment, including student loan debt. We are especially looking forward to expanding our financial empowerment centers to several NYC Health and Hospitals locations this year. Last year, we had almost 12,000 clients visit our centers, 9,000 of whom were first-time clients. As of the start of this year, our professional counselors have helped New Yorkers increase their savings by about $16 million and reduce their debt by over $120 million since the opening of our centers. This is just one of the many ways that our agency delivers for the working people of New York. As you all know, while we are one of the smaller agencies, we are proud to have a rather large mandate to provide protections to every person that lives, works, or visits in our great city. Along those lines, we are excited to broaden our work again this year, bringing consumers and workers expanded protections through our licensing of hotels, thanks to Chair Menin's Safe Hotels Act. And the hotel industry is and always will be incredibly important to the success of New York City, contributing $74 billion to our local economy, serving millions of consumers and employing tens of thousands of workers. DCWP, joining other major cities across the country, will enforce key protections for consumers and workers in hotels and help hotels build a culture of compliance with our laws and rules. Starting in June, we will also start enforcing the ban on forced worker fees for tenants across the 5 boroughs, thanks to Councilmember Jose's Fair Act, our broker fee ban will join the list of our various consumer and worker protections that help New Yorkers keep more of their hard-earned money. We look forward to partnering with the Council on outreach and education measures to support implementation. We will also be taking on 2 additional initiatives announced earlier this year. First, together with the Department of Citywide Administrative Services, we will launch a program for 300,000 New York City employees and their families to help them manage their student loans. This includes assistance enrolling in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, aiming to eliminate more than $360 million in student loan debt. Secondly, something that I have been so passionate about bringing to the forefront is our new Youth Financial Empowerment Initiative with NYC Public Schools. I have spoken here before about the impact that our agency's financial education and counseling had on me as an adult. However, a resounding theme of our November public hearing on financial empowerment was that the foundations of financial health and success really begin in childhood. By collaborating with NYC Public Schools, our initiative will build financially savvy New Yorkers by providing meaningful financial empowerment programming to address the needs of youth and their families, both in and outside of school environments. We are so proud of this program and are excited to roll out services that will help a new generation of New Yorkers. I'd like to thank you again for the opportunity to present on our agency's work for our city and residents. We are looking forward to this upcoming fiscal year, continuing and expanding on our commitment to provide core protections and resources to New Yorkers. We remain resolute in our mission to uplift New Yorkers, protecting and enhancing their daily economic lives, and we thank you for your advocacy and support in our mission and work. And as a final note, I would like to take the opportunity to express my appreciation for my team that works so diligently each and every day for the people of our city. It is with their dedication and passion of public servants that we are consistently able to deliver for New Yorkers. Thank you. I look forward to answering your questions.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Commissioner. So a couple things. I first want to get into the head count. So the preliminary plan includes a budgeted head count of 475 in fiscal 2026. This is an increase of 21 when compared to the fiscal 2025 adopted plan. DCWP's current vacancy rate also stands at 13.2%. So given that, a number of questions. So what is the current active head count and vacancy rates for licensing and enforcement?
Thank you, Council Member. Our active head count for licensing is 83 with 7 vacancies. And enforcement is active 87 and 16 vacancies.
So in terms of this, let's go to enforcement, the 16 vacancies. What is the plan for for those vacancies? And can you describe why there are those vacancies?
Sure. Thank you so much. I don't have the breakdown of which are the positions within enforcement, but certainly an enforcement team is where the inspectors, right? You're familiar with this as former commissioner of our agency, where they are the ones out going, doing inspections of the businesses and responding to complaints every day. So we are constantly hiring on inspectors. It is a process that we are engaging almost every day with our leadership within the agency. So I would say that that number probably fluctuates a lot throughout the year. This is as of February of this year. It's very possible that it's already changed, but the plan is to continue the process of hiring. We're constantly also looking at where we are sending the inspectors. We have a cadence that we follow for different types of businesses that we either license or we regulate in one way or another. So the plan is to continue with the hiring, not just with these vacancies, but for others. As you know, we received those 21 new lines, so we're very excited to start engaging in that work. And I know that the team has also shared those vacancies to all of the members so they can help us also promote them.
I would just wanted to add to that some of those, I think some of the vacancies in the enforcement division do reflect that we received new lines thanks to your advocacy. And so those did push up our vacancy numbers a little bit, but we're working now to actively hire those too.
And are you experiencing any delays with OMB in terms of the hiring process? And if so, what can be done to rectify that?
Thank you. With the 21 new ones, we are just moving those as fast as we can, just like posting. They're all posted, so we're promoting them. And again, anybody who's also listening, please let us know if you need the direct links, and we're happy to send them. I mean, before that, we've testified before that we were in a strict hiring freeze, so there's obviously that impact on our vacancies, but very excited about the new needs that were approved. The 21 lines is going to make a huge impact, and we'll continue to do that work and keep maximizing the resources that are allocated to us.
Okay. I also want to note we've been joined by Majority Leader Farias and Councilmember Krishna. Okay, so we're going to continue down the issues of the vacancy rate. So which units have the highest vacancy rates currently?
Yes, Councilman. So I don't have the unit number because of the titles going across various divisions, but I can tell you that our highest vacancy rate at the moment is our comms and marketing team and our Office of Financial Empowerment.
And considering that you have a relatively high vacancy rate of 13.2%, how do you expect then to fill the 21 lines?
Well, part of that is that those 21 new lines are not subject to the 2-for-1 that other vacancies in the agency are through, OMB. And so that's going to definitely help us. It is new mandates, it's new initiative. Our agency, as you know, we have a really wonderful culture, and we'll keep spreading the word about those positions to bring people into doing this amazing work with us.
I think to add to that, we have those 21 lines that are exempt from the 2-for-1. We also have certain revenue generating positions in the inspectors and attorneys that are also exempt from the 2-for-1. And then, of course, if anything that does apply to 2-for-1, that's an active conversation that we're having with OMB all the time to move through approvals as expeditiously as we can.
And given the high vacancy rate, how is that affecting the ability to enforce fines and summonses?
Well, I mean, I think our numbers are still higher than prior years that, as we continue to target different areas of the work that we do. Tobacco, it certainly continues to be an area of focus because, as you mentioned at the opening of our hearing, it is an area where we do continue to get the most complaints. So I'd like to see to focus on the numbers that are coming out of the work that we're doing. So we're always going to be looking at what are the trends, where the complaints that are coming, any issues that are raised that warrant us to do something differently or focus for a particular period of time to make sure that we address concerns that are raised through complaints or council members, other elected officials, and our communities in general.
I think also across some of our work, we've been able to implement a lot of technological improvements to facilitate enforcement, whether that's consumer protection or worker protection. I can think of, algorithmic tools. Sorry, I can't say that word. To help us identify targets and recidivist actors in the consumer protection space, and also how our data scientists help us on the worker protection and analyzing through data we receive from certain employers.
In terms of the 2-for-1, what positions are currently exempt? How many positions would you say across the agency?
So in terms of the 2-for-1, the new lines are all exempt, the 21. And then generally it's going to be the revenue generating ones, which are all of our inspectors. Anything else we should add?
Sorry, Chair. Certain attorneys as well that have a close nexus to generating revenue are exempt on a case-by-case basis based on our discussions with OMB.
Okay. And are you concerned perhaps that given the vacancy rate that the salaries are not competitive? And because it just seems like one of the obvious issues here.
Thank you, Chair. I mean, it certainly we want to attract top talent to our agency and the work that we do. We are bound by the guidelines of civil service titles and what are the salaries that are allocated to those. We will always, be welcoming conversations about anything that needs to change in that respect. I think we'll probably have to include DCAS in those conversations as well for any changes in title.
I think there are also other ways that we have focused on being able to get new talent and retain talent. I think number one is the culture of the agency that we've developed over these past few years, even prior to that. And also the public service loan forgiveness program that we're working on closely with DCAS to help city employees be able to work through that program and enroll and ultimately get student loan debt forgiven too.
Okay, I want to move to closing cases and some of the metrics around how quickly the agency is able to close cases. So the percentage of cases that DCWP has closed in under 50 days during the first 4 months of fiscal 2025 was 76% down from 88% in the same time period last year. So do you believe that DCWP's high vacancy rates are affecting how quickly you're able to close out some of these cases and provide relief?
Thank you, Council Member. Let me start by saying, obviously, I think generally more resources, you end up doing more work and maybe faster, but I do think there's a number of factors that will always impact the numbers on a year-to-year basis, depending on the type of case and trends and things like that. But I will say that specifically also, if I can point out to mediations, we do still do those in that time period and hitting our 28 days target to resolve those. So that is something that has continued and will always be tracking internally. We don't wait, for the MMR to come out or anything like that. We're constantly monitoring and making sure that if any adjustments are necessary, whether it is the approach that we're taking with our cases like on a one-to-one basis, or also technological improvements that we can make, as Assistant Commissioner Ortiz mentioned, we're going to be looking at those. But right now, we see that we're hitting that target, especially as it relates to mediations.
Okay. I have a number of additional questions, but I'm going to turn it over to my colleagues. Councilmember Krishnan, I know, has some questions.
Sure. First of all, thanks so much, Chair, for this hearing, and thank you, Commissioner, and your team for your testimony. I just had a couple questions. One, I know you addressed it a bit in your opening statement, but I did see your op-ed recently about financial education empowerment for students, and so I think that's really important. I thought it was a very well-written op-ed, too. So I just want to get a better sense of what that work is involving, how it's going so far, and from a budgetary standpoint, what that might require, too.
Thank you. And yes, I am absolutely obsessed with this topic. And I think, we all take, obviously, from our personal experiences, and I have 2 young kids myself, so I really want to make sure that they and others receive the support and the tools that they need so that they become, by the time they become adults, right, they know what to do. And the way that that's going to be looking like, it's that we have 3 components to our approach to financial empowerment and youth. We certainly are building on our proven track record, right, of success of financial empowerment for adults. So right now, we're actively working with NYC Public Schools to identify the school districts where we will launch in January of 2026. And so that's the first component. We are looking to place financial educators in a number of districts starting in January. Those financial educators are sort of like that glue that's going to keep it all together within the district that they're assigned to. And that means developing workshops that will be provided by these educators to not only students, but also to the teachers and the parents and guardians and everybody that is supporting our youth in our New York City public schools. Those workshops also are meant to be 2-generation, right? So it's not just for the students, but also for the adults so that they know how to support their youth. In addition to that, we are also building a resource hub so that we can have a repository of information and tools that are available that are culturally competent and address the various issues that our youth need to tackle and learn at the various ages, since we obviously want to make sure that we are targeting primarily from middle school up, because research has shown that that is just the sweet spot where we want to make sure that there's this intervention happening and the knowledge that is being passed through. As we expand, right, I mean, the goal is to expand and have a financial educator in every school district by 2030. So we're very excited about that. Where we're at, it's like I said, we're very close to identifying and sharing the locations of where we'll have these financial educators starting in January, and then that will be paired with the conversations that we're having with financial institutions to launch in-school banking as well, so that we can develop and promote safe banking and asset building within our youth. And then the last component is that we want to make sure that we teach the youth how to interact with money, how to develop the proper behavior about it through a match savings program, and make sure that they understand what that means and what that looks like as they enter adulthood.
Thanks very much. I think that's really important. By the way, I gave my kid $10, my 6-year-old, for a book fair yesterday, and he came back with a basketball poster and an iPhone pencil case. So I think this financial education is really important for 6-year-olds too. But I'm glad to hear this too. And also, just a couple more questions. Just one on follow up on that. Is that going to be paired up in any way? Are you guys working with NYC Kids Rise that Chair Menon started and created? I think it's a great program. It's very popular in my district and my school, which is one of the pilots for it. Are you all partnering together in working on that together, both programs?
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Thank you to Chair Menon. We are, I don't know how much you know, but I do sit on the board of New York City Kids Rise, and as an ex officio board member, so does the Chancellor, and so does the Deputy Mayor for Strategic Initiatives. So very much part of the city and how we work. We hold a contract for New York City Kids Rise, so we serve as the pass-through conduit for the funds that they get to distribute to the kids. Yes, we'll be working together. They, as you know, right, they fund the accounts in kindergarten for the kids, and then continue the partnership and the work throughout the years, trying to encourage the families to understand this asset that they have now to further the education of the youth. And so I know they started in one particular district, and those students are now in middle school, so it's going to be sort of like a nice timing as we launch our financial educators and see the kids that are participating in the NYC Kids Rise program be part of that. So very much part of the conversation.
Great to hear. And then I just had 2 short questions, Chair, if that's okay.
Of course.
One was, just taking a step back on the budget, I think one of the big things, and you all have the mandate from a legislative standpoint to enforce a lot of the laws. I mean, the FAIR Act, for example, other programs too. But I know it as well that, if we don't have the enforcement resources behind it, then the laws aren't worth more than the paper they're written on. Do you all feel you have, for the different programs and the legislation we're passing, do you feel like you have the resources you need to actually enforce them across the boroughs, given the high needs that we're seeing now on these issues?
So, Council Member, let me start by saying that one of the things that I'm super proud of, at least under my tenure, is that we've been really focused on making sure that the work that we do is aligned with our mission. So some of you have been part, right, of conversations that we're having and making sure that the work that we do is what we exist to do. So if there's something that doesn't really make sense, just plain language, for our work, we try to work with other agencies and make sure that in partnership with the council, we accomplish that, right? I mean, we've done it in a number of ways. And in terms of the work that we do, as you saw, very excited again for the new needs that were granted. I cannot thank all of you enough for the advocacy. It's made a huge difference for us to, yes, receive new needs. 21 new lines is big. It is really wonderful, and the work that we're doing is going to be very impactful, from the Hotel Licensing Act to broker fee bill to hopefully expanding the NPR protections, for which, yes, we did put in a new needs for that as well, because we want to make sure that we can do the work. So particularly as it relates to the ones that are coming under this council and we have those very open and honest conversations, I'm delighted to see the support and to see the result of that support and advocacy come in terms of new needs approved for us.
Got it. Thank you. And finally, talking about bills and legislation, as you all know, one of my priority bills too is around deactivation, the unfair deactivations of taxi drivers and for-hire vehicle drivers. As we keep pushing forward and working on legislation, it's my understanding from the past our hearings that DCWP is still supportive overall of the legislation and moving forward. Is that still the case?
Thank you. Yes, we do supported it. That wasn't what I was asking, by the way. I don't want to send the idea that we haven't. I just wanted to give you a full answer because we were just talking about resources. So we just haven't gotten to that part, right, of establishing what new needs there may be, depending on our role for that legislation. But yes, I mean, it goes along the lines of what I was saying earlier with expansion of the minimum pay rate as well and things related to it that relate to our delivery workers or those similarly situated.
Great. Thank you very much.
One more thing,
sure.
for my assistant commissioner as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, council member, I think, of course, certainly supportive of the legislation with respect to deactivations for for-hire vehicle drivers. I know also that same hearing we flagged as well that there are deactivation and scheduling concerns that happen in the third-party restaurant app delivery sector as well. I think that's another important part of the conversation to include here. I think in both those instances, for-hire vehicle drivers or restaurant delivery folks, that there's a certain precariousness to how they're engaged as drivers and as riders. So I think for us, we'd certainly be very excited to continue the conversation on these legislation and additionally work with you and work with OMB for any fiscal impacts we have on that bill in particular.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. I want to acknowledge we've been joined by Councilmember Brewer and Councilmember Caban, who's on Zoom. I'm now, while we still have quorum, I'm going to turn it over to Councilmember Caban, who has some questions. She needs to be unmuted.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. And just to all the folks from DCWP, I know the work is really hard now, especially under this federal environment. I think now more than ever see y'all as really, really critical frontline defenders of workers. So appreciate the work that you're doing. I want to start by asking about gaps in New York City's retail scheduling protections. Specifically, we know that these laws play an important role in protecting retail workers at stores across the city. But what we're hearing from labor organizers, and certainly what I'm hearing from labor organizers in the sector, is that they don't necessarily apply to all workers involved in the retail industry. So, for example, retail delivery services and Amazon fulfillment centers. And my question for y'all is, like, do these laws need to be extended?
Thank you, Council Member. I'm gonna have my Assistant Commissioner of External Affairs share a little bit more detail about where we are, what we've seen, what we're finding, and where we see collaboration with the City Council to improve worker protections.
Well, I think just to stress, I think what you're hearing is absolutely correct, Council Member, in the sense that there are certain retail places across the city, retail warehouses where existing Fair Workweek scheduling protections don't necessarily apply. Perhaps because at the time of Fair Workweek first being enacted, that those were just not a norm for the city. And I think to the extent that workers are in those spaces and that they have analogous roles, analogous positions as what Fair Workweek contemplated in the original legislation, I think that's something that we'd love to look into in coordination with you folks.
Great. I'm glad to hear it. And then my next question is just around the fast food workers protections from back in 2021. So obviously, our city, and thanks to you all, has very successfully instituted the just cause protections for those fast food workers. And, while federal worker protections and anti-discrimination efforts are obviously under attack, I think it's going to be more important for New York City to be able to ensure safe and stable working environment for New Yorkers. As y'all are aware, I have that bill called the Secure Jobs Act, which would create universal just cause protections for non-union workers in New York City. So my next question is, are y'all familiar with this bill? Do you think it's important at a time when the federal government is attacking labor rights that specifically just cause protections are extended to all workers?
Thank you, Councilmember. I think, well, to start, I would say that just cause protections in the fast food space, I think, have been incredibly important for those workers. And I know when we've testified in the past at that hearing, that the factual record certainly ensured that I may say the factual record always demonstrated that this protection was needed in the fast food industry as well. I think, just since in 2024, we've had 52 complaints. We've opened 29 cases. We've closed another 23 cases. We recently announced a good resolution for a worker in the just cause fast food context. So I think it's certainly working there. And with respect to your bill, I'm more familiar with the version that was introduced last session. I think to the extent that we can have a conversation about how we could extend those protections and what needs to be put in place for that, I think it's something we're always open to. I think the commissioner has always told me that we want to be in the room for these conversations. I think we bring a lot of expertise for how things can be implemented and the policies that need to be put in place, and we're always willing partners in that sense.
Absolutely. And we got to get y'all more money. I know Councilmember Krishnan was asking, about additional funding and things like that. And I'd be curious as well to even go further and ask, what you could do with extra money if you got it, in terms of protections like that. And then, paired with that, my last question for you all, and then I'll hand it back over to the chair, is just, how are the federal government's actions under the Trump administration impacting local labor rights enforcement, and what steps is DCWP taking to strengthen those protections and respond specifically? And again, I know it's a hard question to ask sometimes in the context of these, or answer in the context of these hearings, but what more do you need? What could you do with some more resources and money in your agency?
Thank you, Council Member. I mean, I say this all the time in any presentation, especially even outside of this room, right? Because when we're talking to New Yorkers, they're not necessarily, watching these hearings. And so we try to always make it a point to stress to all New Yorkers in our outreach and education that we're here to serve every single person. Immigration doesn't really matter to us, as you know. It's not even a question we ever ask. Sometimes, people is like, oh, how many of these, individuals you serve? Is like, I can't even tell you, because we just don't ask the question. But we do stress that we are here for every single New Yorker. And I think many people can attest to that as well. In terms of, from what's happening in the federal government, we know that, for example, the NLRB, right, it's somebody that is impacting workers. They do focus on a little bit of a different area than we do, but we are certainly here for New Yorkers and all workers, and we want people to come forward. We want people to ask for assistance. We have a very accessible online complaint form, and also online a way to ask a question if people are not yet ready to file a complaint or they just want to get information. And then similarly, we are always working on making sure that we have strong relationships with community-based organizations that are in direct contact with our communities across the city to ensure that they know they can come to us and they can file the complaints, and we will be quite the staunch advocates and make sure that we obtain any restitution that they're entitled to when there's been violations of the laws.
Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you. Oh, go ahead, Assistant Commissioner. Sorry,
Councilmember. I didn't mean.
No, go for it.
But I just to reiterate, I think, an earlier point when we were discussing some legislation that we've testified in support of. I know in terms of the minimum pay rate expansion that we've contemplated 19 new positions for that expansion. That would be really a mix of investigators, attorneys, and data scientists. And the data scientist piece is particularly important for the enforcement work in that space. And then I know in Councilmember Menin's important bill too regarding notification to complainants about fast food worker complaints and fair work week complaints in general. I think that's another bill that we're very important. We're very supportive of, and that has an FIS that's public as well on the Legistar.
And one more thing, because Councilmember Kama, you really open up the door for us to share some of the things that we're working at across our jurisdiction, basically. You were mentioning obviously some things that may be more related to workers, but we are the Consumer Protection Agency as well. It's sort of how we started in 1969, so coming almost in 60 years. So I actually wanted General Counsel Mike Tiger to share some of the things that we're also looking into, considering what's happening at the federal government, especially with the Consumer Protection Bureau and related agencies.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all aware of how dire the situation right now is in D.C. for the federal consumer protection regulatory agencies. So we're definitely taking a close look at where we can fill in the spaces based on the hampering at best of the CFP, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and the Federal Trade Commission. We're looking at where we can, looking at junk fees, which was a very big initiative by the Biden administration and the previous administration with the Federal Trade Commission. And that's we're looking at something we can do some rulemaking in this calendar year. And we, as you may know, license debt collection agencies in the state of New York and have consumer protection rules devoted to debt collection. And we are going to do another round of rulemaking. And we're really looking at where we can we can fill in spaces where we had once assumed that the federal government could really take the leadership role on. And I think especially in something like debt collection, we really would like to invite all of you, as you're talking to people in your community, to make sure that complaints that they may have in the first instance have gone to those federal regulators. Make sure we're open for business. We have a portal for people that we recently set up just last year that we're very proud, that makes it easier to file consumer complaints. And we really encourage all of you, when you're talking to constituents, to talking to stakeholders in your communities, to file complaints with us. Again, especially on issues that maybe in the first instance you would have thought, oh, the CFPB is going to handle that, or the FTC is going to handle that. So we have an eye towards sort of developing that sort of agenda over the course of this year.
Makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Chair.
Absolutely. So I just want to continue on that line on the CFPB, because given the firings there at the Federal Trade Commission, have you tried to hire some of those individuals? Because no, in all seriousness, I mean, they're experts in consumer protection. It would be great to reach out to them and see if they'll come work for the largest municipal consumer protection agency in the country.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of colleagues and former colleagues that were working at these agencies. So we're in touch with a lot of people, and we have several open lines for consumer protection attorneys, and we have been in contact with people and encourage people to apply for those open positions. But again, I want to encourage all of you as well. If you have people that you know from your circles that were working in these agencies or have a touch point or newly invigorated passion for consumer or worker protection due to what's happening in Washington, D.C., please go to New York City Jobs, look at the positions that are open, and please send in resumes. I mean, this is definitely something we are actively looking at.
Absolutely. And then the other thing is we want to make sure on new needs, and I know we talked about obviously the 21 lines, which is fantastic, but given what is happening in Washington, you are going to need new needs because it's going to be up to cities to take the lead. And so it's certainly going to be up to DCWP being on the front line to push back against this deregulation on consumer protection, which is going to endanger so many New Yorkers and people obviously all across the country. But I want to I know that Majority Leader Farias had some questions, so let me turn it over to her.
Thank you, Chair. I have had some of the questions already asked by colleagues, but a couple that are in our documents struck me. I'm a huge sports fan, so I've been to a couple of the arenas and the stadiums throughout the city over the last couple of seasons we've had this year, and the 50-50 raffle bill that we passed a couple years ago has always intrigued me. We approved, or the mayor signed it into law in May of 2023, and it allows the sports organizations in the cities to use their venues to hold raffles and other games of chance to raise money on behalf of charities. Do you folks have how many licenses DCWP awarded for these raffles since the passage of the bill?
We are actively, as soon as we heard you that was a topic, we're just checking what those numbers are. But it's definitely, we do know that it's having a positive impact in making sure that more money also can be raised for the charities that can benefit through this as well.
Sure. And do we have a list of which charities have actually received any of the raised dollars? And I ask this question only because the couple of stadiums that I've been to, for example, when they're doing their 50-50 raffles, they're solely doing it for their stadium's foundation and not necessarily for an individualized nonprofit organization or charitable organization. So I'm just wondering how we're monitoring the licenses that are going out and how are we monitoring the dollars received?
I think we want to make sure that we give you as much detail as possible, so I don't want to just throw numbers here. I can tell you that the two main organizations are the Mets and the Yankees, who got those licenses to do the 50-50 raffle. If you're okay with it, I'd love to just give you the details of that as a follow-up to make sure that we are accurate on the
Yeah.
numbers and the list of any charities that may meet.
Yeah, that's fine.
I would add
Yep.
to that. I mean, we could get you the list of the charities as well, but in general, the licensees net proceeds in total, I think, sums up upwards of $2.8 million, and that's based off of the legislation that you mentioned that was passed and went into effect. So I think it's had a substantial impact on I guess the activity of these two organizations, but also what they've been able to contribute back into the community through charities. So I think
I'd love to connect offline on it. It's something that I've been kind of waiting to come back around to, just to kind of give folks time to actually do, based off of the sports seasons that we have, give each of the folks the ability to go back to it. My only concern has been any of the games that I've gone to, it's only gone back to, for those examples, Yankee Foundation or Mets Foundation. I think even MSG or the Knicks also have a foundation that is doing 50-50. But us ensuring that those dollars are actually, a majority of those dollars or a portion of those dollars are not just going back to those already massively revenue generating organizations, and the impact of the bill is actually being seen throughout our community. So I'd love to offline hear more about the list of charitable organizations that are partnered with and what dollar amounts that we're seeing in terms of licensing coming back to the city. So appreciate it.
Okay, I have a lot more questions, but I'll turn it over to Councilmember Brewer first.
Thank you very much. One of my questions is, in terms of licensing, can you explain how the agencies overlap, how your agency overlaps with other agencies? This year, as you know, I spent a lot of time on the smoke shops. I spent a lot of time with battery, lithium stores. I spent a lot of time, thanks to Barzini's, on the grocery store world. So, and you're involved with all of them. I can mention all the other agencies. So I just want to know, is there an overlap? Is that something that gets coordinated, et cetera? How does that work?
Thank you, Council Member. Yes, we definitely work with a lot of other agencies and make sure that we're bringing the expertise that we have in different areas. And I can tell you that we do have one individual that's with the Mayor's Office of Assessments, and we do have 10 inspectors and inspector supervisors assigned to the Sheriff's Interagency Enforcement Task Force, where, as you know, we've been doing tobacco enforcement and e-cigarettes for a very long time. So we bring our expertise to those areas. Like you mentioned, with Local 39, the fire department, we coordinate with them in enforcement of that, especially since last year we received that additional tool to conduct ceilings. So we are always in contact with them to make sure that we are following up on those. And then we also have work that we do with the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, processing their licenses. That is one area where there's a lot of lines involved, and I'd love to have First Deputy Commissioner Kemi Minaya give you more detail on that one.
Thank you for the question, Council Member. So 58 of the lines at the agency, the authorized headcount, are funded by DOHMH to do DOHMH licensing. So since we have the licensing centers, it's more efficient for the last 30 years to have their staff at the licensing center to receive the applications, process them, and then DOHMH applies the final approval.
Okay. So then in terms of headcount, how many of your lines are reassigned to City Hall? So it would be the 10 for the Mayor's Office of Assessments. I thought I knew everything, but I never heard of that office. And then others. So I'm confused.
1 is for the Mayor's Office of Municipal Assessments. 10 are in the Sheriff's Office.
Okay, so it's 10 in the Sheriff's and 1 for the assessments.
Yes.
And that's it in terms of what I would say is reassignments.
Correct.
Okay. Pedicabs. What are we doing about pedicabs?
Well, we license them. We certainly do the.
I get in. They say $20. I say hell no. I pass the bill.
Mhm.
You are illegally asking me for $20. So let's start negotiating right now. That's what I do when I get in. But I'm not. And then I pull out my badge. I'm not the norm. They're getting ripped off. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we do a lot of work with the Parks Department and NYPD on enforcement of the pedicabs. I'll have Assistant Commissioner Ortiz give a little bit more detail there.
Yeah, I think to start broadly, I think long term there's definitely a need for reevaluating the pedicab category and its licensing structure to ensure that the city has its tools available to monitor compliance, to facilitate better compliance among the industry. Short term, what we've been doing is working with the Deputy Mayor's Office of Public Safety, the Parks Department, NYPD, to coordinate interagency actions in high pedicab activity areas. Of course, PD and Parks always have the on-street enforcement authority and capacity, but we're there as well as the expertise as a licensing agency. I'm sorry. I think, for example, recently, just last week, I believe it was, we held the DCWP 101 for the pedicab industry to help them understand how to be compliant with local laws, pricing, for example. But ultimately, there's a lot of unlicensed activity happening out there. So I think for us, we have these short-term solutions we're working on with the City Hall, but I think long-term there needs to be certain changes, and we want to talk about that too.
I know Central Park Conservancy would like to have them as a licensee. That would maybe be Parks. You got two deals. You got the ones Midtown and you got the ones in the park. And they don't always talk to each other.
Well, I think it's a really,
it's a complicated industry.
It's a complicated industry because there's a license for the business, and the business is allowed a certain amount of cabs that are registered to them, and then there's licenses for the drivers.
Correct.
But oftentimes, the drivers are not they're not the same year to year, although
Right.
the businesses perhaps are the same year to year. So something that would be, I think, certainly helpful is how do we bring a bigger stick against the businesses that are always here and are. I wouldn't say encouraging, but perhaps there are incentives for their drivers that they're engaging with to break the law.
Yeah, and there are just a few owners that are not so clear as to who they are.
And I do want to mention that certainly if any consumer has been deceived or by a pedicab, that comes to us. We mediate that complaint. But if there's traffic issues, street safety issues, that should really go to the police department or parks if that's happening.
Okay, and just finally, my favorite topic, paid sick days. I know you mentioned it in your testimony. I just want to know if there's a final dollar amount in terms of what's been collected in terms of fines, and then just generally, how is the law being carried out? How's it going, and does it need changing?
Yes, thank you so much. There's definitely, it is our signature worker protection law that we enforce. And so I just want to get you the number on what was collected related to those cases last year. Okay, sorry, want to make sure we have found the number correctly. As it relates to paid sick and sick leave law in 2024, we collected $3.9 million in restitution for workers.
Are there needs for changes, or you think it's working appropriately?
Yes, there's some pending legislation that I know we've testified to also to make sure that we expand these protections. I'll have Assistant Commissioner Ortiz give you those details.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the confusion. Introduction
You are
780.
never confused, Assistant Commissioner.
Introduction 780 is a bill that we testified in support of recently that would expand the opportunity for how folks can use their paid safe and sick leave. For example, attending a public benefits hearing, childcare. I believe RFIS is on Legistar for that as well, for at least 4 to 6 new lines. And I think it's another step forward for paid safe and sick leave and how we can broaden its use by New Yorkers.
Thank you very much.
Great, thank you. So I know that Councilmember Krishnan asked about NYC Kids Rise, and I do have a question on that because, as you know, I was very proud to create that program almost 9 years ago. We've now seated close to 280,000 students with a college savings account, which is just incredible. But I am concerned about the peg to the program of $2.3 million and what that will mean for the future of the program. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Thank you, Council Member. Agree, it's an important program, and as you heard, it's always something gonna be that we're partnering with because of the financial empowerment component. We both New York City Kids Rise and the city through us, DCWP cares very much about it. The PEG, yes, it resulted in that reduction of funding for NYC Kids Rise. The contribution was not compromised. All of the accounts were still funded at the amount that the city has been committed. And so it was more about right-sizing the administration of the program as it pertains to the money that they were receiving through us.
And any update on any kind of restoration of that moving forward?
I'm not aware of any at the moment.
Okay. A couple of things. I'm going back to where we were on budget-related requests. So the preliminary plan includes just $5 million in new funding for DCWP, and while obviously, and we've talked about this, we're thrilled about the 21 new lines, but the agency is constantly being asked to do so many new functions. You're always being asked to do more with less. And as you know, I continue to be concerned about that. The number of complaints has been trending upwards as well. And so were there any new needs you requested that were not funded in the prelim plan?
Thank you, Councilmember. And again, huge help to have your support, especially with your knowledge of the agency. We didn't get 3 lines when we put in for the fiscal, for the new needs for the combined hotel licensing and broker fee bill.
And speaking of that, can you talk about the 21 lines? How are they going to be divided up in terms of functionality? I know that they're going to be focused on the Safe Hotels Act and the FAIR Act. Could you talk a little bit about what will the breakdown and responsibilities be?
Sure. Definitely. We have the 11 new lines for the broker fees and hotel licensing. I can tell you that out of those 11, 7 are for enforcement, including 6 with general counsel and 1 with the enforcement unit, and then 4 are for licensing. And then we have the other 10 for the financial empowerment initiative that are a number of them most of them in OFE, but also in our comms and marketing team and in our IT unit or division.
And a couple questions specific to hotel licensing and a couple specific to the FAIR Act. So on hotel licensing, does the prelim plan include revenues that are associated with the hotel licensing fees?
We just want to confirm the information, Councilmember. Yes, so it's a licensing scheme, right? So the hotels, we believe there's about 700 in the city, and they will each need to get the license that lasts about 2 years, and each time they get is $350.
Right. Okay.
That'll be the revenue.
And have you been engaging with stakeholders regarding the implementation of the law? And if so, what type of feedback are you receiving?
So definitely being engaging with them is sort of part of how we see the success of anything that we do. Similarly, as we engage with you and other city council members when there's new legislation to be proposed. Once the bill has passed and we're working on rulemaking, we always want to make sure that we're talking to those who are going to be impacted by the bill. So yes, we've been engaging with them through rulemaking, which we are almost done with, to share to publish those rules. And then obviously once they're published, we will hold also webinars and other meetings to make sure that the community is well informed on how we're going to go about it and how they can access the license. In terms of feedback, I'll have Assistant Commissioner Ortiz share any particulars that we may be able to share at this point.
Yeah, I think well, we've been actively engaging with the industry and both on the industry side and the worker side. I think well, all their comments to our rules that we are hoping to finalizing soon, they're available on our website, so not to put any words in anyone's mouth, but I generally think that a lot of the feedback was just about clarity in terms of how we're going to develop these licenses, how we're going to issue them, what types of documentation we'll be looking for. I think that's the kind of general feedback we got. So we're always working to incorporate that. We want to be as transparent as possible with our stakeholders in the licensing situation. So we're hoping to finalize that very soon.
And as you know, the law requires that hotel operators equip all of their core employees with a panic button and provide them with training to recognize human trafficking. What type of support is the agency giving to hotels to make sure that this is being done? Like, where are you in terms of that process?
I mean, as I believe Assistant Commissioner Ortiz referred to, or the Commissioner herself, we are holding a DCWP 101 once the rules are finalized in April, before the May commencement of the licensing scheme. We're going to take questions beforehand from stakeholders, and hopefully we can answer as many of them about this new scheme.
Okay. Question on fines. So in terms of overall fines, our data indicates that the agency has collected nearly $14 million in fines for fiscal year 2024. Could you give a breakdown in the types of categories of what types of businesses were fined, and do we anticipate a reduction? I mean, we did do the law last year to reduce fines where there was no consumer harm in certain categories. How do you feel that the spirit of that law is being implemented?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, so we did collect, I think it's actually 15.2 in 2024 in fines across both our worker protection and consumer protection work. As it relates to consumer protection, always the number one is our tobacco violations yield the most amount. That was a 4.7 million last year in 2024, and that was followed by our secondhand automobile dealerships and the e-cigarettes. Those are like the top three that, in terms of the amount of money through civil penalties that the agency collects. And yes, definitely with the violations that are curable because of the reform that we've done. I'm going to try to get you the number because I believe we have a number on what we feel businesses have been able to save through that, but I think it's going good. You know, I think it's, again, we definitely always want to follow an education first approach anyway, and our team, especially the enforcement team, when they go out, they're definitely aware and trained of what are those curable violations so that we can address them with the businesses. And I think that paired with programs like our VAP to make sure that we go and we do a walkthrough with our inspectors has been really helpful to get the businesses to a good place in terms of compliance.
Now, in terms of...
I think we were able to pull the number in terms of money saved on cures, and that was last year was about $423,000. But I would also add that the Small Business Relief Reform Acts that we worked on with the council and with you, of course, they also incorporated a lot of $0 penalties the first time around, which I think was very helpful for folks in terms of it was essentially function as a warning type system. So that's not reflected in that number necessarily, but I think they work hand in hand.
Great, thank you. Now, getting back to tobacco, and we talked about this at the top of the hearing, the improvement in compliance, which is great to see, is attributed to obviously increased enforcement and educational efforts. So what strategies specifically has the agency implemented regarding education and improved compliance? And do you believe additional enforcement would improve this data?
Chair, yeah, tobacco is definitely, it's consistently the number one area where we get complaints and high number of inspections that we conduct, and also where the amount of money that we collect for the violations is definitely stay there. I know that in 2024, we conducted over 27,000 inspections of tobacco and e-cigarette retailers across the city, and so we continue to encourage individuals and, of course, all of you to let us know when you observe what you believe may be a violation so that we can deploy our inspectors to make sure that they can check how many. I can also share that I know under my tenure, we've also shut down over 170 locations for unlicensed activity, because that is also even higher in violations in terms of the tobacco and e-cigarettes, just the unlicensed activity versus those who may be licensed, where we are aware of them, obviously, because we license them, but we're always looking to proactively make sure that we are visiting all the businesses in a route for an inspector as they see it, that they might not have been aware.
No, I was just going to underscore, like, we really made a conscious decision to increase our ceilings, and I think that hopefully, aside from what the results are for those individual targets, hopefully have knock-on effects to the entire community, that they realize that there is a real cost to prolonged noncompliance.
Okay, thank you. So I want to move to restitution for workers. I know Councilmember Brewer talked about paid sick leave and the importance of that. You recently announced that you secured $2.6 million in relief for workers from 5 businesses: Burlington Coat Factory, Starbucks, which I know we talked a lot about earlier in the year, Tavern on the Green, Hot Topic, and Alara Caring, to resolve violations of the city's workplace laws. So given what is happening with the Trump administration, it is obviously going to be more important than ever to ensure the most robust worker protection enforcement for the agency. What can be done to increase your efforts? What can be done to increase any type of resources that you need in that regard?
Thank you. Yes, I mean, like you said, that.
It helps if the mic is on, right? As you mentioned, yes, we are constantly trying to promote the cases and get the word out about the cases that we resolve. Like you said, well, last year only we collected $7.9 million in restitution for workers, but in the last 4 years since I've been commissioner there, we're actually at $43 million. So again, yes, it's bragging, but it's bragging because we want New Yorkers to believe that we are there for them and that we will get results for them. I think any worker that has, been able to take advantage of our services and our advocacy can attest to the work that we do. And so we will continue to do that. I think as it's important to continue the strong relationships we have with the various groups that work with New Yorkers, particularly those in any area or industry that relates to work. Okay.
Okay, can we just remove the bag from the room? Thank you, that would be great. Thank you so much, thank you. Okay, to continue, thank you. So to continue, you were saying?
I think that part of making sure that we can do more continue to do more for workers, particularly in light of the realities with the federal government. To me, it comes out to a lot of the outreach and education to make sure that individuals are aware. I think New Yorkers oftentimes, we're in government for a very long time and we know the differences, but I think for a lot of individuals who are not aware, government is government, doesn't matter what level it is that you're talking about. So I will continue to stress those relationships and outreach that we do to educate all our workers. Like last year when we did our Day of Action promoting our Worker Bill of Rights, we were at different points throughout the city where we were able to distribute the information to 10,000 New Yorkers in just one day. So we are always going to want to make sure that we're getting the word out and we get in front of people, not just the documents that we put out and press releases and announcements through social media, but also the interaction. I very much enjoy giving presentations about the various rights and the work that we do so that people just see the live person that is behind the work that we're doing.
I think that's going to be so important because I know for a lot of consumers who are facing deceptive practices, fraud, they're going sometimes to the CFPB. And with that route now closed, we need to ensure then that people know that they can come to you for so many of these important consumer protection issues, perhaps partnering more with council member offices, but we can put information in our newsletters, working closely with the community boards to get that information out. That people should know that you all are the frontline resource on all consumer protection issues, I think would be incredibly value added.
Yeah, we would deeply appreciate, and I think that's reflective of my remarks in response to Councilmember Caban.
Right.
I think it's good I think we should all be working together as a city government to get the word out to people on the street.
And thank you, Chair, for offering that as well. I think in the most immediate term, I think we're planning another day of action. This one focused on consumer protections for immigrants on April 9th. I think we would love for your offices to join us. In general, we will have another a day of action for worker rights as well in the early spring. And certainly between Memorial Day and Labor Day, we always want to focus worker rights education, canvassing, going out and seeing people, meeting where they are, to distribute this important material. So we would love to be partnering with your offices on those events.
Yeah, we would love to do that. Now, I think you might have mentioned this before, but I just want to make sure we get this down. How much in worker restitution have you been able to recoup from employers since the passage of the paid sick leave law and the Fair Workweek law were enacted? So for both metrics would be great.
Since the laws were passed?
Yes.
Okay, let me make sure. So we don't have the number from back like the 10 years for paid sick and sick leave law and also for the Fair Work Week, but we can most absolutely get it to you, Chair.
But we can give you, I can give you right now the past 3 calendar years for each law. For paid sick and sick leave in 2022, 6 million, 2023, 3.1 million, 2024, 3.9 million, and Fair Work Week, 2022, 16.9. 2023, 8.3, and 2024, 4 million.
Okay. And I do want to note, getting back to this issue of getting the word out about all the great worker protection work that you all are doing. So we have some data on outreach events that is indicating that in calendar year 2024, DCWP hosted 289 outreach events. These events produced 2,519 complaints, which consisted of complaints on paid sick leave, Fair Work Week, delivery worker issues. And as a result of that, 506 investigations were open. In what ways could you do even more outreach, given the atmosphere that we are now in with the federal government and the Trump administration? What can be done to increase those outreach events? Because they're obviously a key way that people then come forward and do a complaint.
Assistant Commissioner Ortiz leads the team that's outreach, but I do want to say that, for example, it's just, we love to get bombarded with requests really to do presentations because we know that different people receive the information in different ways. I can tell you that I recently attended an event also at Mixteca where there were community members that are church as ambassadors to share information with their neighbors. And I think those are very powerful ways to get the information out because obviously we can say it, but it's always going to be more powerful when fellow community members, neighbors share the data. So to the extent that there's ideas that perhaps we haven't explored, we want to make sure that we do those. But certainly, we don't have any one particular channel that we use, and we will adjust and share the language in a different way so that it makes sense and is well received.
I would say that in general, or I'd say on our outreach team we have 5 individuals. In general, our model is to build into existing events that are happening in the community with organizations such as Mixteca, for example, or others, plug into where they are and talk about the work that we do. Mm-hmm. On average, when we're fully staffed, we're hitting about 620 total events throughout a year. And I think that work is going to continue, if not increase as well. Something that we've recently implemented, certainly in the hiring process, is as we've become fully staffed on that team, is a highly preferred second language capacity. And now every single person on our outreach team speaks a second, sometimes a third language. We cover Spanish, Bangla, Cantonese Mandarin, and Haitian Creole. And that, I think, is, to your question, Chair, is another way that we can build trust, access these communities through language access. So the work never stops. I think it's a constant effort to figure out new ways to engage broadly, but also in depth.
One more thing, we also enjoy doing roundtables. So to the extent that that's helpful, it's good for us to bring certain groups together so that they can hear together what we're doing, but also each other. So we recently did one specifically to consumer protection, and we are about to be convening a number of groups to specifically talk about immigrants, immigration service providers, and that type of issue, because we know is very, very much an active area right now.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you so much. That concludes the questions we have. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Okay, I am now going to open the hearing for public testimony. So I want to remind members of the public that this is a formal government proceeding and that decorum shall be observed at all times. As such, members of the public shall remain silent at all times. The witness table is reserved for people who wish to testify. No video recording or photography is allowed from the witness table. Further, members of the public may not present audio or video recordings as testimony, but they may submit transcripts of such recordings to the Sergeant-at-Arms for inclusion in the hearing record. If you wish to speak at today's hearing, please fill out an appearance card with the Sergeant-at-Arms and wait to be recognized. When recognized, you'll have 2 minutes to speak on today's hearing topic, preliminary budget. If you have a written statement or additional written testimony you wish to submit for the record, please provide a copy of that testimony to the Sergeant-at-Arms. You may also email written testimony to testimony@council.nyc.gov within 72 hours of this hearing. Audio and video recordings will not be accepted. So I'm now going to call the first panel. And if you can make your way up when you hear your name: Mimi Whitaker, Ben Fuller-Guggens, Winston Berkman-Breen. If you could all please come up. Thank you. Is this the next panel? Okay. Okay. Please begin. Thank you. Sure. Yes.
Is this on
Press the
now?
red button.
Great.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Winston Berkman-Breen, and I'm the legal director at the Student Borrower Protection Center, a national nonprofit advocacy, litigation, and research group focused on ending the student debt burden in New York and across the country. Our work focuses on all consumer and financial practices facing students and workers, including loan origination, servicing, and debt collection. Prior to the SPPC, I was a legal services attorney here in New York City and a state financial regulator for New York. At SPPC, we regularly work with federal, state, and local regulators and consumer protection agencies. The New York City DCWP is consistently one of the most proactive, sophisticated, and committed of our partners nationwide. I'll submit written testimony about the agency's many accomplishments and the concrete ways in which it keeps dollars in New Yorkers' pockets and protects citizens and workers. It does this through examination of licensees, investigations, enforcement of consumer protection laws against bad actors, and coordinating a network of direct service providers, of which I used to be one at NILAG, who actually sit down with New Yorkers and help them with their issues. Today, I want to focus on the extraordinary moment we're in and the need for New Yorkers to have a strong DCWP. Our consumer protections at the federal level are actively being dismantled. The Federal Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has been shuttered. The Department of Education, which administers federal student loans, had half its workforce fired last week, including the entire Office of the Ombudsperson. New Yorkers need someone to look out for them. According to the CFPB's Public Consumer Complaint Database, in 2024, New York City residents filed 108,099 complaints with the agency. That's up from 44,669 in 2023. That's a 142% increase. In 2022, they filed 26,785. So that's roughly 27,000 to 45,000, jumping to 108,000. Clearly, there is a growing need to protect New Yorkers, which coincides with the federal fallback. So I would just say, we heard a lot about, my time is up, budgets and vacancies. Just give them the money that they need. This is a question of bandwidth. We know they have a good track record, and this is not a time to cut corners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Chairman and council members on the committee for letting me speak today. My name is Ben Fuller-Guggens. I'm the Executive Director with Carroll Gardens Association. We're a member of the New York City Coalition for Domestic Work, one of 6 organizations that's committing to ensure that the 200,000 domestic workers are across our city are treated with dignity and respect and know their rights. Just a little background about domestic workers. These are the nannies, house cleaners, and home care attendants that take care of our loved ones across our city and our homes. However, despite this essential work they do, they're often treated with abuse, overtime, not getting paid overtime, wage theft. Often this is due to because historic exclusion from a lot of labor laws that other workers enjoy. So you heard earlier from the commissioner that allying with groups like us and coalitions are really essential to outreach to domestic workers and workers across our city. Particularly domestic workers, these are workers who are individual household and make it very difficult to identify where workers are. And so we've had over the years very successful outreach efforts with the department, going to libraries and parks, meeting workers where they're at to ensure they know their rights, giving them information in languages across this really diverse workforce. So I'm here today to just echo the need to support this, the $77 million budget ask. This will allow them to hire additional attorneys and investigators, like you heard, really essential to reach this workforce. Also wanted to include our FY26 ask for the coalition, which is $800,000. You all have historically supported our initiative, and so we're also asking for an increase for our initiative to conduct outreach and education across all 5 boroughs and languages to domestic workers. So thank you for your time and look forward to continue working together.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Chairman and members of the committee. Is this on? There we go. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Mimi Whitaker. I'm a lawyer with the National Employment Law Project, NELP. It's a national nonprofit with more than 55 years of experience advocating for the labor and employment rights of low-wage workers. And I'm here to testify in support of adequate funding for DCWP to support its enforcement capabilities. So first, DCWP holds a critical role in protecting workers. Despite being one of the smallest city agencies, they're a leader on workplace policy, and they enforce several unique protections for New York City workers. And because many of these laws don't carry a private right of action, workers must go to DCWP in order to make sure that their protections are enforced. Secondly, I wanted to emphasize that New York City is doing a great job in significantly increasing worker protections, but it needs to also extend the resources to make sure that they are enforced. Currently, the City Council is considering several new bills that will offer significant wins for workers, and together the financial impact statements for these bills indicate that DCWP would require an additional $2.5 million in their budget. A robust DCWP is critical to ensure that New York's strong workplace protections are effective. And lastly, which is a bit of a theme today, I wanted to emphasize the federal efforts to dismantle federal worker and consumer protection agencies, which make DCWP's role more critical than ever. The Trump administration is gutting these agencies of their staff and enforcement powers, meaning that unscrupulous employers will feel emboldened to disregard worker rights. Furthermore, the federal government's increased immigration enforcement at workplaces will have a chilling effect on workers, which makes all workers, regardless of their immigration status, vulnerable to workplace abuses. And given that that's my time, we'd like to respectfully urge that you fund the DCWP. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much for your testimony today. Question?
I just want to point, paid sick days does have private right of action. I assume you know that.
Yes.
And then one quick, for the domestic workers whom I am familiar with for about 30 years, my question would be, what would be a specific example as to what the agency could do to be cognizant of their rights? Obviously, paid sick days, overtime. I just want to know if you could provide some of that list.
In terms of making sure the agency is aware of.
Yes.
Well, they're very collaborative, so we work very closely to ensure that the materials that they develop are actually coming from workers themselves, to make sure they're culturally and linguistic accessible, and really outlining what's in the Domestic Worker Bill of Rights and including some of the city initiatives too. So yeah, we've had a lot of success ensuring with the joint outreach that I mentioned to ensure that workers are understanding that, the city has their back in terms of enforcement too.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for your testimony. We appreciate it. I'm now going to call the next panel, Jean Harriet English, Jihai, sorry, it's a little hard to read the handwriting on this, Rowski, okay, and Sergei Ronovitsky. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody have any copies?
Pardon?
So, you good? Okay. Just make sure you press the red button when you're ready to speak. All right?
Thank you.
Okay, please begin. Thank you.
It's on?
Red.
It's on? Okay. Hello, guys. My name is Sergei Ronovsky, and I am street vendor since 1995. And I'm member of Street Vendor Project. And I believe increasing of the number of the license will generate some profit for the city, and also allow to 20,000 street vendors to meet the end, which they cannot do it right now. It's not too much. It's not too much vendors make enough money to support the families. So I asking you to please give us a hearing so that the street vendor project reform package can be moved forward. And I'm going to use a remainder of my time to read from the general vendor merchandise vendor waiting list, which I see is over 20,000 people. So it's not, it's a Muhammad Ali, Liquin Yu, Fatamata Kaba, Isam Wahab, Vaisim Yu, Ki Chim Lam, Farid Ahmed, Rina Akhtar, Shivan Lam, Amar Travali, and many other ones.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello. Thank you, Chairman and committee members, for letting us speak. My name is Jihei Runovsky, and I've been working as a street vendor along with my husband since 1996. My fellow street vendors are some of the grittiest and hardest working New Yorkers. Thousands of them are waiting for a license to be authorized to continue to work. Please create a path forward for us and in increasing the number of licenses by giving us a hearing on the street vendor reform package. I'm going to use the remainder of my time to read from the general merchandise vendor wait list. Neema Lama, Sanjay Jawara, Christina Ruiz, Usmane Niang, Karija Dumbia, Goling Niang, Diala Balde, El Sayed Alberadman, Jia Fang Li, Mohammed Asukur, Manda Niakate, Usume Diabu, Arfanul Hussein, Fatim Gnaniasi, Amadou Diallo, Li Fang Nyang, Fatou Ngom, Zaur Danilov, Merced Ortiz Lopez, Lin Queen Xia, Etes S. Hoke, Mohamed Asalam, Aliou Diallo, Ruben Segar Chan, Alpha So, Jessica Brown, Esperanza Santiago Hernandez, Dijbi Usmane, Blanca N. Sateros Mora, Youssef Abaye, Mamadou Abari, Jai Gao, Yankohoba Nidong, Mane Nijia, Salimatu Bari, Stierno So, Guo Lung Xiu, Jian Ling Yin, Yong Hong Wan Wei, An Te Tan, Hua Liang, Sabju Bari, Mabade Duke, Sajid Ali, Mamadou Baba Yoko, Rafael Yamzondo, Momotaz Boyan. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Pleasant good afternoon, council members and everyone here. My name is Jean Harriet English, and I'm representing the street vendors in Brooklyn, New York, Worthman, and our adjoining streets in zip code 11208. I'm here today to ask for, as everybody else here is asking, for a release of the street vendors license. So because we are being harassed, we have 4 days a week on the street selling stuff, and we are being harassed by the police and the sanitation. They're taking our stuff away and confiscating them, and this is very hard for us vendors and our families and our livelihood. We desperately are asking and pleading to all council members for your assistance in looking at the matter of the license. We are suffering immensely and begging, please, please, for your assistance. Now that the weather is changing, it's time when we come out to try and make a living for our families. So this is asking again for your mercy to help us to get the license going, that we can pay our fees and get on with our livelihoods. I don't really have a list of the members, but it is very, very important that if you could pay some little more attention to opening up the license for us. And that's all I have to ask. Thank you ever so much for allowing us to speak today.
Thank you very much for all of your testimony. Thank you. I'm now going to read the next panel, and that is Judith Rudino. And I believe the note is we need a translator, please. Yes. Yes, Spanish, please. Elizia Campos, Isabel Rosario, and also translator.
Make sure you press that. All right.
Are we getting a translator? Yes. Oh, great. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, terrific. Thank you. Okay, thanks. Okay, so please begin. Thank you.
Muchas gracias. Okay. Okay, entonces puedo presionar el botón y puedo empezar.
Necesito eso.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes, miembros del Consejo. Mi nombre es Judith Ruano. Soy mamá de 3 hijos y sobreviviente de violencia doméstica, vendedora ambulante desde el 2010 y estoy en una lista de espera desde el 2010 también. Quiero pedir que seamos escuchados nosotros los vendedores ambulantes para que se cree una protección, porque somos trabajadores también. La irregularidad que tenemos ahora, que no tenemos una licencia que nos protege y no es nuestra prioridad causar daño a nadie, pero sí exigimos que se nos escuche para que seamos escuchados dignamente y traer soluciones para que como madres o padres podamos seguir llegando el sustento a nuestros hogares dignamente.
One, two, three. Okay. My name is Judith Ruano. I'm a mother of 3 children. I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and I am a street vendor since 2010. Given that today the topic brought to the table is the negotiation for the budget, I would like to say that I want to make a request. I want the protection of street vendors to be taken into account, and I want the street sales to be legalized, and I've been actually in a wait list ever since 2010 as well. And we are about 20,000 vendors. If street vending is legalized, this will bring money for the government. And I have another request. Please let us have a hearing so we can be heard with dignity and respect. Thank you for the opportunity to participate and to testify to all of the council members. And I also want to say that the irregularity that we're facing as street vendors needs to end, and we demand the licensing and protection because we don't want to cause any harm to anyone, but we want to be here in a dignified way.
Thank you.
I have a time. I read a list, the waiting list for my co-workers: Mamadou Daler, Shai Sinshu, Baba Guri, Hosne Bigon, Animata Kava, Ferrari Nula, Alpha Diallo, Jim Sinja, Chin Sungja, Alangir, Imad Machin, Jernad Bigon, Fatima Konde, Shikan Ki, Shukan Ismail, Rashan Islam, Sunjung Wom, Yolanda Robles, Kyunjang, Halima Saja, Raúl Parra, Wing Hong John, Nawang Masa, Famala Rama, Babala Lee.
That's a list of names that she has with her coworkers. Gracias, gracias. Puede.
Mi nombre es Eliezer Campos. Estoy pidiendo para todos los vendedores ambulantes y su persona que por favor nos ayuden con todas las reglas de la ley, hacer tener algo digno con nuestras peticiones que están adentro. Soy vendedora ambulante desde hace 18 años. Ahora queremos algo seguro y digno para los vendedores de la calle, que también tenemos derecho a pagar taxes. Tenemos derechos, pero también tenemos necesidades. Somos esenciales. También luchamos día con día. Gracias a usted, Su Excelencia. Esperamos una opinión y buenas noticias por una reforma de vendedores ambulantes. Gracias. Sabemos que tenemos 20,000 personas y todos son de nacionalidades diferentes. Unos podemos salir poco a poco, pero hay vendedores definitivamente que no están vendiendo. El temor, el riesgo que se corre en las calles, mucha gente está paniqueada también, no puede vender y no tienen para sus rentas. Le pido encarecidamente que hagan algo por nosotros. Nos merecemos, porque así como pagamos taxes trimestrales y anuales, yo creo que somos dignos también de tener un derecho a un puesto que nos pertenezca, pero con reglas. No importa que tengamos que pagar los permisos y las licencias y todo el papeleo, pero queremos algo digno, seguro para todos los vendedores, no nada más los de aquí, de todos los estados. En todo el mundo hay vendedores.
Sí.
Susan Go.
Un segundo, por favor. My name is Eleazar Campos. I'm asking that for street vendors and the overall people that are actually street vendors, that please you help us with all of the laws and everything that has to be done for us to have something worth and to help to have something worthy and to help us with the different requests that every single member has. I am a street vendor. I've been a street vendor for 18 years, and now we want something safe and worthy for the street vendors, that we also have rights and we do pay all of our taxes. We are essential. We also fight day to day. Thanks to the excellency of the street vendors. We want to be seen as good news, and we want the street vendors reform to be here and have a place. We all have different nationalities, and actually some vendors are not capable of selling or having sales. They are afraid. They do not sell. They don't have sales, and they don't have enough money to pay rent. So we adamantly ask you to give us what we deserve, because we do pay taxes every trimester or quarterly, and we do have rights because we follow the rules, but we do have rights as well. We need the permits, we need the licenses, and even if we have to pay for the fees, or if we have to do the pertaining paperwork, we will. But all of us need the necessary permits and licenses to be able to do all that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sabemos que las listas en espera.
Muchas gracias.
Yes, and if she wants to submit the written testimony, we would take, if there's any written testimony that you'd like to submit.
Okay.
Is it-
Si usted tiene testimonio escrito, lo puede entregar y entonces va a estar en el acta, ¿verdad? Sí, porque
Yes.
pasa que se acabó el tiempo. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we can take the written testimony. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very
Gracias.
much. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to call the next panel, and that
Voy a llamar al
is
siguiente panel.
Jose Yos, Ligia Guayupa, Luis Cortez, if you could please come down. Thank you. We do or don't? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. No le gusta. Okay. Bueno.
Okay, thank you. Please begin.
Gracias, puede empezar.
Muy buenas tardes, mi nombre es José Yos, miembro del proyecto Justicia Laboral, delibrista, líder de los Delibristas Unidos. Como trabajador me siento muy orgulloso de ofrecer un servicio a la comunidad, pero también como trabajador durante estos últimos años me he enfrentado a distintas situaciones muy difíciles. Pertenezco a un colectivo de trabajadores vulnerables que se sienten abusados, explotados, sin derechos por parte de un grupo de compañía de reparto de comidas, las cuales se han negado a reconocernos como trabajadores y que a costa de nuestro trabajo también tenemos que soportar injusticias como el robo de salario, del cual también he sido víctima. Principalmente con la compañía DoorDash, la cual retuvo mi salario y esto generó una cascada de consecuencias negativas en mi familia. Allí en las calles fui donde conocí a la organización Proyecto de Justicia Laboral, a sus líderes y organizadores, los cuales me informaron acerca de mis derechos y cómo podía ayudar a transformar la industria denunciando todas estas injusticias. Asimismo, me ayudaron a enviar mi primera queja de robo de salario con el Departamento del Consumidor y Protección del Trabajo, DCWP, donde estuvimos involucrados un colectivo de trabajadores reclamando el pago retenido indefinitivamente por parte de esta compañía y donde logré recuperar lo que me habían quitado. Hoy en día, como trabajador, puedo darme cuenta que las agencias de gobierno locales y organizaciones comunitarias son esenciales para que nuestros derechos se cumplan. La realidad actual es que ni DCWP ni WJP cuentan con el financiamiento suficiente para brindar toda ayuda necesaria para apoyar en estos casos de abusos. Y sin este financiamiento, las leyes que nos protejan como delibristas terminan siendo letras muertas. Nuestra lucha está enfocada en mayor protecciones, pero si tenemos una agencia débil que no tiene la capacidad de hacerlas cumplir, los afectados son miles de trabajadores que no tendrán dónde acudir en los momentos más críticos. Quiero agradecer a los miembros de este comité por escucharme y por reconocer que la fuerza laboral inmigrante es y seguirá siendo esencial para que la ciudad de Nueva York continúe movimiento creando progreso, equidad y mayor oportunidades. Muchas gracias.
Good afternoon. My name is Jose Jos, and I am a member of the Workers' Justice Project, a deliverista or delivery person, and leader of Los Deliberistas Unidos for United Delivery Workforce, as their name in English. As a worker, the English version is in the back.
He's there.
As a worker, I am very proud to offer a service to the community. But as a worker, I have also faced many difficult situations in recent years. I belong to a group of vulnerable workers who feel abused, exploited, and without rights by a group of food delivery companies that have refused to recognize us as workers. Because of our work, we also have to endure injustices like wage theft, of which I have been a victim. This was mainly with the company DoorDash. With which withheld my wages, leading to a cascade of negative consequences for my family. It was on the streets that I met the Workers' Justice Project organization, its leaders and organizers who informed me of my rights and how I could help transform the industry by denouncing these injustices. They also helped me file my first wage theft complaint with the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection, DCWP, where we, a group of workers, demanded the payment that had been indefinitely withheld by this company and where I was able to recover what had been taken from me. Today, as a worker, I realized that local government agencies and community organizations are essential to ensuring our rights are upheld. The current reality is that neither the DCWP nor WJP have the sufficient funding to provide all the necessary support for cases of abuse. And without this funding, the laws that protect us as deliveristas end up being meaningless. Our fight is focused on more protections, but if we have an agency that does not have the capacity to enforce these protections, the ones who will be affected are the thousands of workers who will have nowhere to turn in their most critical moments. I want to thank the members of this committee for listening to me and for recognizing that the immigrant workforce is and will continue to be essential for keeping New York City moving, creating progress, equity, and more opportunities. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Chairwoman Julia Menin and Councilmember Gale for the opportunity to testify today. So my name is Ligia Hualpa. I work with the Workers' Justice Project. And I'm here today to share a little bit of also what we have been able to accomplish thanks to the City Council's funding support this past 8 months, or actually over the past year or two. So we have been in the front lines supporting about 8,000 low-wage workers, like day laborers, domestic workers, and delivery workers by providing access to workers' rights case management, support, labor rights education, workforce development trainings, and other critical services. In the past 9 months, we have been able to achieve key milestones, and I'm just going to name a few of them. One is empowering workers through case management, which led to a major labor investigation by the Attorney General Office and recovered $16.75 million in stolen tips for DoorDash workers. So right now, this next 6 months is going to be about outreaching to make sure those workers can come forward. We also have been partnering with the agency, DCWP, to investigate DoorDash for wage theft, and which we have been able to accomplish in recovering close to $40,000 in stolen wages. We have helped register 225 app delivery workers for the most recently launched e-bike trade program with DOT. We have provided workforce development training, also assistance with training and case management to 230 deliveristas as well. Also assist nearly 100 workers to get some sort of deferred action or immigration protections, and train over 800 workers in construction site safety training and connecting jobs that has generated over $1 million in income for their families. And these are just examples of what Workers' Justice has been able to accomplish with DCWP, with the city funding support, and I'll end there. I'm here once again just seeking support for key essential initiatives like the Day Labor Workforce Initiative, which has many of us have been depending on, the construction site safety, low wage worker initiative, and ask for $2 million as well for DCWP, which has been an incredible partner that we rely on, and we continue to have their support, especially now more than ever. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Councilmember Menin. My name is Luis Cortez. I'm the director of Los Deliveristas Unidos at the Workers' Justice Project. Today, I want to mention the valuable contributions made by DCWP agency, with whom we have worked together to achieve significant benefits in our community. As a staff of the WJP, I've seen all the injustice committed by delivery companies that have used technological strategies to exploit our way of working, forcing delivery workers to work long hours, paying low wages, deactivating deactivating accounts, making it difficult for customers to tip, or withholding wages that we all already earn. These abuses have been reported to DCWP, where we have denounced how companies have deliberately withheld wages from many delivery workers in New York City. This work has been extensive. We have reported workers who have suffered from these abuses, and thanks to the support and assistance of this agency, we have recovered thousands of dollars. Our organization is fighting on expanding local protection for delivery workers, and DCWP will be the agency making app companies accountable. These protections are paid transparency, option to tipping before the order is placed, and deactivation protection. Increasing the CWP budget will create the infrastructure to make these rules a reality, especially in these critical moments when the new administration is directly attacking the working class. Today, I want to thank the members of the City Council and DCWP agency for always advocating for these vulnerable individuals, and with their support and resources, we will be able to provide hundreds of workers with essential resources in our workplaces, offering safety, empowerment, leadership, and the recognition that collective power is stronger than any multi-million-dollar company. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your testimony. I'm going to call the next panel Ariel Mintz, Mahmoud Syed, Ashley Chen. If you could please come forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have any copies to give out? No. Okay. Can you speak? Make sure this red button is on.
Okay, please begin. Thank you.
Should I start first? First, I want to thank everyone for giving me a chance to speak up today. And my name is Zayed, and I work on the Upper East Side. And I've been a food vendor since 2008, which is almost 17 years now. I'm also a member of a street food vendor project. My business actually providing a service to the community, and we create jobs and paying lots of taxes to New York City. We are dealing with a very old system, and I can't have my own permit. I'm still in the wait list for so many years. I don't know if I'm going to have my permit. I don't know if I'm going to be alive when I'm going to have my permit or not. Okay. I'm renting a permit from Underground Market, and this is actually bring impact on my business and also to the local economy. We need a vending system that works for me and for everybody else who wants to have a food vendor permit. I request that this committee hold a hearing on Intro 431, so we can have a license or our own permit without running after people who already has the permit and rented for other people. I want to share some of the names with you who's been waiting for so many years to get their permits, and so far they haven't got it yet. Wantiu Kwan, Doris Castaneda, Andrew. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And if you want to submit the names, we're happy to take that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Jonier Brown.
We have to give everyone the exact same amount of time.
Thank you.
Our rules, but please, if you want to submit that in writing, we'd be happy
Yes.
to take that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair Menon and members of the Consumer and Worker Protections Committee for the opportunity to testify today. My name is Ashley Chen. I'm the policy analyst at the Chinese American Planning Council, CPC. We're the nation's largest Asian American social service organization. In New York City, approximately 1 in 7 workers have been fired or disciplined for simply speaking out about workplace concerns. On top of this, many immigrant workers in our community live in constant fear of going to work due to the threat of ICE enforcement and deportations, which have been openly threatened by the federal administration. At CPC, we have been conducting Know Your Rights trainings to empower our community, especially immigrant workers, with the knowledge to protect themselves from ICE raids in their workplaces. However, despite our efforts, more is needed to address this pressing issue. That's why I'm here today to strongly urge for $77 million in funding for the Department of Consumer and Worker Protections in the fiscal year 26 budget, an increase of $2 million over the preliminary proposal. We are requesting that the $2 million allocation be used to hire 7 attorneys, 5 data scientists, 4 investigators, and 1 outreach person. Given the ongoing attack on worker protections by the federal government, our city has become the first line of defense against harmful policies. The Trump administration's unlawful and unprecedented assaults on workers, as well as the systematic undermining of agencies meant to safeguard them, have created a significant vacuum. This makes state and local enforcement more critical than ever. DCW plays a pivotal role in investigating, adjudicating, and prosecuting labor and employment violations, including issues like wage theft, unpaid sick leave, and discrimination. However, with federal agencies such as the NLRB and EEOC either underfunded or actively obstructed, the current funding levels for city agencies are simply insufficient to safeguard the rights of New York City workers. Now more than ever, our workers deserve strong agencies that will protect the rights against federal neglect and hostility. To ensure that every worker in our city has the support that they need, it is absolutely essential that the city appropriates $77 million for DCWP to expand capacity and resources for the agency. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Ariel Mintz. Thank you so much, council members, for your time today. And thank you to Councilmember Gail Brewer. Lived on the Upper West Side my entire life, and it's an amazing place to live, and we really appreciate your service to the community. I'm here today with the Street Vendor Program. I'm trying to start my own business in New York City, and I thought it would be a really interesting idea to try to find customers on the street. I did a little bit of research into this and found out that it wasn't possible, and that there was no system to allow for vendors and people like myself trying to start a small business to sell to people on the streets of New York City. I'd love to have the opportunity to do so, and I'd love to have the opportunity to create a business here in the city. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you to this panel. I'm now going to call the next panel. Muhammad Atia and Mansa Ibrahim. And I believe we need a translator. Arabic, yes, thank you. Okay. Great, please begin.
أتكلم أنا. مساء الخير، أنا اسمي موسى إبراهيم، بعمل بائع في الشارع. بتعرض كتير للاضطهاد من البوليس بشكل غير قانوني، لأن هما بيدونا مخالفات كتير بدون أي وجه حق، بدون ما يقيسوا الأماكن ولا يشوفوا إيه المشاكل اللي موجودة. بيقعدوا في العربيات في الفان وبيكتبوا لنا مخالفات، وبينزلوا يحطوا أرقام الأيديهات عندنا وأرقام البرامج بدون ما بيسمحوش لأي حد إن هم يتكلم معاهم. دي المشكلة الأولى. والمشكلة التانية إن احنا ما فيش عندنا تصريحات لينا، لان احنا حاولنا نسيب الشغل وللأسف ان احنا ما لقيناش اي فرصة عمل تاني بره. فبنطالب ان احنا يكون لينا تصريحات ان احنا نقدر نشتغل حتى في اي اماكن تانية، يكون عندنا التصريحات الخاصة بينا. وانا بشكر سيادتكم جميعا.
Good evening, my name is Musa Ibrahim. I work as a street vendor. I have been facing discrimination from the NYBD for violation that not against the rules or anything. They don't even take any measurements. They sit in their vans, in their cars. They just take the permit number, they add it to the violation that it need to be there. They don't allow us to defend ourselves or talk or speak to any one of them. That was my first problem that I face as a street vendor in New York City streets. My second issue and permit that we face is issuing permits. We have been trying to leave these jobs and try to find other jobs, but there is no jobs for us or there is anything else to do. We have been requesting to have like a permit or issue new permits for us. That's all we need, some protection for the street vendors. Thank you, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chairman and Councilmember Brewer. My name is Mohammed Ataya. I'm the Managing Director of the Street Vendor Project. I want to talk briefly about SVP. We provide legal representation, outreach, and small business support to hundreds of street vendors across the city. We respectfully request that the Council considers our funding applications for this fiscal year to ensure that we do our best to meet the demand that is increasing. For decades, street vendors in New York City have been dealing with an unfair system. There is no support, there is no licenses, only tickets, fines, and arrest. Vendors want to follow the rules, but the city is not allowing them to do so. However, vendors are being penalized for the government's failure to regulate the street vending industry. Vendors are so disappointed that the city government hasn't stepped up in the most horrific times in recent history, while immigrants are under constant attack. As an immigrant myself and a former vendor, I know firsthand the risk and fear that vendors take every day going out to work, facing various enforcement agencies who treat them as criminals. With the increased enforcement and criminal tickets issued to vendors, they are becoming more vulnerable to getting in contact with ICE and face serious consequences. Last year alone, the police issued more than 2,000 criminal tickets to street vendors. New York City has the opportunity to provide protection to our communities by passing the street vendor reform package. You pretty much know the numbers of the bills. The most crucial piece here is in the reform is ensuring that the vendors have access to the business licenses. By passing Intro 431, the city will create thousands of licenses and permits desperately needed to formalize the vending industry, and you can see how many millions will be generated into the local economy and in the city's budget. I provided that in the IBO report attached to my testimony. And since we're here before this committee, we hope that the committee will schedule a hearing on this very important bill, Intro 431, a conversation that has been going on for more than a decade, but yet everyone is trying to avoid it. The vendors now don't need sympathetic speeches. They really need actions, reforms, and protections. Only the city council has the authority to do that, not the administration, not the federal government, only the city council. But yet it hasn't done anything about it. We are looking forward to working with you in the near future to ensure that New York City is a safe place for the vendors community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. One quick question I have is, can you comment on any thoughts on the prior city council legislation from the council before our time?
Of course.
In terms of an increased number of permits and what impact that had. If you could comment on that, that'd be helpful.
Sure. Thank you, Chairman, and for the question. So back in 2021, the City Council passed Intro 1116, which became Local Law 18, that requires the city to make 445 applications for permits available every single year. However, as of May last year, we have seen that the health department released almost 2,000 of these applications, not only the ones required by the law, but others that lapse back from the old system. And according to the numbers they shared with us in the Street Vendor Advisory Board, the uptake of these applications has been roughly 30%. Only 30%. 528 vendors actually obtain that new supervisory licenses. And just to be very honest and put that on the record, there is nothing that we can blame the health department for. The health department is doing their job. They are sending out the applications. The vendors who are interested in the new system are applying. However, as my colleagues earlier shared, there is an extremely long waiting list that is moving extremely slowly. Everyone thought that local law 18 is the end-all be-all. That cannot be further from the truth. The truth is, we have more than 10,000 names on the waiting list. Even at the end of the full implementation of this local law, which will be by 2032, we don't have enough licenses for everyone. And there are thousands of people who want to be vendors in a legal way, who want to obtain the license. They are not even on this waiting list. So the waiting list is not everyone. The waiting list is only 10,000 people. There are thousands of others who are not on the map. They don't have a chance in the next decade to receive a license under the new local law. So what we're trying to do here is to find a practical way to ensure that the waiting list is moving forward quickly, that people are being offered a chance. And for those who are not interested, they will lose it. They will miss the chance. They will lose the window, and that's fine. But we can go over the waiting list quickly. We can go to the next person, because some folks and some of our members, folks who testified today, their waiting list number is 3,000. That means that they will need to wait 10 more years likely, or they will just need thousands of people who hold these permits to die for them to get a chance to obtain the license. So it's kind of like the whole system is set up in a way that is failing the vendors and failing the city. And we cannot really be pointing fingers. I cannot point fingers at the health department and say they are not doing their job. They are sending the applications. I get the applications. I'm on the waiting list. I still have my food vendor license. It's active. I do get the applications. So thank you, health department. You're doing your job. Now everyone is looking at the council. The council need to have an admin code that is working. Pretty much the same thing for the general merchandise vendors. A lot of people ignore the fact that the merchandise licenses haven't been touched since 1979. That is 46 years. 46 years with the same number of licenses. We heard from the sanitation inspectors. They go out at the vendors and being very aggressive, yelling at the vendors, telling them, go get a license. You should be get a license. Why are you not getting a license? We even heard elected officials who are going to the press and saying these vendors, if they want to operate in the city, they should go get a license. We went to the DCWP office at 42 Broadway, the licensing center. The deputy commissioner met us at the door, having the admin code printed out, and she said, you cannot get a license. I'm sorry. The waiting list is closed. I'm sorry. Unless you are a military veteran, there is no way for you to obtain a license. Even the waiting list is the unknown. We ask her, how long should we wait? Can we come back next year? Can we come back in 10 years? She said, I have no idea. They have more than 9,000 names left on the waiting list. And the only time the waiting list moves is by someone who holds a license dies or stop renewing their license for whatever reason for DCWP to call the next person on the waiting list. So you can only imagine if the 853 licenses are being circulated even every 10 years, it will take likely 100 years for this waiting list to be over.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. I will call the next panel. Cleotilde Rosario Troncando. Have we called Isabel?
We did. I just want to make sure she didn't come.
Is Isabel Rosario. We called Isabel before, but Isabel here? She's here. Okay, great. Thank you. Please come forward.
Go ahead.
Hola. Okay.
Gracias.
Ok, buenas tardes. Gracias por darnos la oportunidad, por escucharnos, por su tiempo. Mi nombre es Rosario. Soy vendedora ambulante a partir de 2020. A causa de la pandemia perdí mi trabajo, fue que decidí ser vendedora ambulante. No sabía nada de las reglas de la ciudad, de la venta ambulante, pero gracias a Street Vendor Project aprendí de las reglas. Asimismo, me di cuenta que necesitaba de un permiso y una licencia para poder vender en las calles, la cual no podemos obtener tan fácilmente. Quise entrar a una lista de espera, la cual ya no pude. De ahí me gustaría que ustedes nos dieran la audiencia para la 431 en la cual podríamos obtener permisos y licencias. Yo creo que de esa manera ustedes, la ciudad, obtendría más impuestos y más control de la venta ambulante. Eso es lo que yo pienso y gracias por su tiempo otra vez, por escucharnos. Y esta es una lista. Sí.
My name is Rosario.
We need a mic.
First of all, thank you for the opportunity to participate and be heard. My name is Rosario. I'm a street vendor since 2020. And because of the pandemic, I started, but I lost my job because of the pandemic, and that's when I started selling in the streets. I didn't know about the new rules or about street vending, but thanks to SVP, I learned about those rules. In addition, I noticed or realized about the need to have permits and licenses to not be chased by the police or sanitation, and that's why I ask you to please offer us a hearing for the proposal of Law 431. I think that the city would receive more taxes from street vendors and they would have more control over the street vendors. Thank you for your time and for hearing us. And now the list.
Y estos son algunos nombres de la gran lista de espera, que son Mamadoudi Aloseni Diallo, Abderrahim Elounas, Ambo Sky, Tina G, Abdelmonaim Naji, Sao Q, Samsun Akhtar, Hamadou Yaye, Ouseinu Ndong, Abdoulaye Sar, Yao Cheng, Ak Rabham, Sheikh Diabrat, Fuwan Ni, Francisco Miranda, Rafael Curiel, Abdulrahman Mbay, Eladi Tur, Jan Lai Hu, Papa Fal, Wan Chiu, Kadidia Tu Si, Kalei Si, Sen Wan Wen, Isma Wan, Sokna Lam, Ji Song Q, MD Sahid, Diana Hernández, Bárbara Portorreal, María Chimborazo, Arona Güelle, Bridwan Momouni, MD Nashir Udin, Dam Daguilar, Abdul M. Halal, Mahamoudu Baga, Jero Sumar, Hassam Tiham, Mariama Barri, Lassan Kabor, José Rodríguez, Nabel Ahem, Abdullahi Aminatu, Souten Seltom, Pape Boye. Gracias.
Gracias.
Mi nombre es Isabel Rosario y yo soy miembro de la SCP. Primeramente, muchas gracias por recibirnos y poder escuchar esta audiencia sobre el presupuesto. Estoy aquí para exigir una audiencia donde usted pueda escuchar mi compañero y para avanzar con el proyecto de ley del número 431. Esta ley nos dará justicia y va para crear un sistema de venta ambulante que funciona para todos. Nuevamente, muchas gracias a la señora concejal Menin.
Hello, my name is Isabel Rosario, and I am a member of the SVP. First of all, thank you very much for receiving us and for listening to us in this hearing about budgeting. I am here to demand a hearing where you please can hear us, and as well as everyone else, so that we can advance with the Bill 431. This law will provide justice for us and create a system of street vending that will work for everyone. Again, thank you very much, Councilmember Menin.
Buenas tardes.
Muchas gracias al Consejo.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much to the council.
Como ustedes acaban de ver, este sistema está roto.
As you have seen, the system is broken.
No existe un lugar donde una persona que quiera vender vaya a solicitar la ayuda adecuada como educación.
There is no place where someone who needs to...
licencias, y vivimos en una ciudad de primer mundo.
There's no place where somebody who is willing to go and sell can find some resources like education, and we are living in the first world.
También soy una madre soltera.
I'm also a single mom
de 3 menores de edad.
Of 3 minors.
Y cada semana yo tengo que ver entre si voy a guardar para pagar la renta o para darle de comer a mis hijos.
And every week I have to make the decision if I save enough for my children's food or to pay the rent.
Necesitamos una audiencia para la 431.
We need a hearing for
Creo
431.
Incluyan a los vendedores ambulantes y no los sigan excluyendo, ya que
So
al mismo tiempo
you can please include street vendors and not continue excluding us.
Movemos la economía local.
Because
Somos
we do
la
move
columna
local
vertebral de
economy.
nuestras localidades.
In our city.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're now going to turn to Zoom. I'm going to call the first panel Zaid Ayubush, Salua Baeda, Ticho Sina, and Jorge Rosero.
Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity to testify today in support of the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection and the Office of Financial Empowerment. My name is Zaid, and I serve as the Program Director for Grow Brooklyn's Free Tax Prep Program. Based in Brooklyn, we encompass both traditional IRS volunteer income tax assistance, services for individuals and families, as well as specialized tax preparation services for self-employed workers, small business owners, and gig workers, all under DCWP's NYC Free Tax Prep banner. The complexity of our tax code creates significant barriers for low to middle income New Yorkers, for self-employed individuals like freelancers, gig workers, childcare providers, and small business owners. These challenges are even more pronounced, facing confusing requirements around quarterly estimated payments, self-employed taxes, proper record keeping, often without access to professional, affordable guidance. The Department of Consumer and Worker Protection has been an important ally in our mission through financial support, technical assistance, and collaborative outreach efforts. DCWP has helped us expand our geographic reach to serve more Brooklyn neighborhoods, offer multilingual tax preparation services to immigrant communities, many of whom you've heard the testimony before me, develop specialized expertise for self-employed filers, and provide a year-round presence for tax education, resources, and additional services. DCWP's commitment to consumer protection perfectly aligns with our goal of ensuring that cost is not a barrier for providing every New Yorker access to high-quality tax preparation assistance. In closing, I want to emphasize that the partnership between DCWP and Grow Brooklyn represents government at its best, responding to community needs through strategic collaboration and delivering direct action. By investing in these services...
Okay, I'm just going to ask you to wrap up, please.
Sure. And DCWP helps ensure that working families and small business owners can access the tax credits they've earned while avoiding unnecessary penalties and fees.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
What does that even mean? I was like, hello there. My name is Salua Baeda. I've been unmuted. May I speak?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, thank you so much. Give me just one moment, please. I am, in fact, getting the kiddos home from the bus stop, so thank you for your patience. I knew this would happen the moment that I walked into the house and away from my Wi-Fi. Just one moment, please. Wonderful. Thank you, Chairwoman Menon and members of the committee for the opportunity to testify today. My name is Salwa Baida, and I am a proud domestic employer and member of Hand in Hand, the Domestic Employers Network. This is a group where employers actually advocate for the rights of their employees. So I come before you today, not only as an employer, I understand, sweetheart, not only as an employer or as a parent, but also as the daughter of a former domestic worker. You see, my mother was a house cleaner and a home attendant to elders when I was a kiddo. So my mother and I understand firsthand how critical it is for workers to know their rights and for employers to understand their responsibilities. Domestic workers, the nannies, house cleaners, and home care workers who make all other work possible, they have long been excluded from basic labor protections. Over the past decade, New York City has made incredible strides in righting this historic wrong through legislation like the Domestic Workers Bill of Rights and Intro 339. But passing laws is only the first step. The real challenge is making sure that workers and employers alike know these rights exist and that these laws are upheld. And that's why I'm here today from the bus stop to urge you to continue funding the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection, DCWP, and to invest $800,000 in the NYC Coalition for Domestic Works Domestic Worker and Employer Empowerment Initiative, which has done critical outreach and education in partnership with DCWP. Now, the nature of domestic work, as we know, it's isolated, it's behind closed doors, and it's often between individuals with language and cultural differences with serious power dynamics at play. Because work inside the home makes the enforcement of labor laws uniquely challenging. So without proactive education and outreach, many workers remain in the dark, vulnerable to wage and theft exploitation. And without clear guidance, many employers, even those who want to do right by their employees, are left unsure of just how to provide just and legal working conditions. So our coalition, in partnership with
Time
DCWP,
expired.
has been
Thank
going
you.
directly, excuse me?
Time expired. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your testimony. We appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you as well.
Okay, our next speaker.
Time starts now.
Good afternoon, Chairwoman Menon. My name is Tito Sinha. I direct the workers' rights practice at Take Root Justice. We thank the Council Committee for the opportunity to submit this testimony, which is in support of increased, robust, sustainable, and multi-year baseline funding for the Low-Wage Worker Support Initiative. Low-wage worker support is the only dedicated city funding that ensures that low-wage immigrant workers have redress from wage theft, sick leave violations, discrimination, retaliation, and other workplace injustices. In the past few years, the funding has supported our work in representing immigrant workers, including domestic workers, before DCWP. And as a result of DCWP's robust enforcement, workers have been able to recover back pay for unlawful retaliation, sick leave pay, and statutory penalties. We've participated in DCWP's paid care mediation program for domestic workers, and we commend the agency for having that program. We commend the agency and investigators and counsel for working collaboratively with our work, as we believe our work supports the agency to better enforce the city's laws and its mission to protect workers' rights. I'm here because rather than engaging in this yearly effort to renew this crucial funding, we request that City Council demonstrate its ongoing commitment to immigrant workers by renewing and expanding this baseline funding from $2 million to $3 million. This expansion will stabilize the funding so low-wage and immigrant workers can continue to receive this essential advocacy. Now more than ever, low-wage immigrant workers needs champions from advocates such as Take Root Justice and our allied partners, and they need a robust enforcement agency such as DCWP. Our ability to continue this work under low-wage worker support needs the City Council, and we thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Jorge Rosero. I'm the Associate Director for Asset Building at Chaya, CDC. For 25 years, Chaya has built equitable and thriving neighborhoods by fostering the self-determination, housing stability, and economic well-being of South Asian and Indo-Caribbean communities across New York City. We provide housing, tax, small businesses, and financial counseling to thousands of New Yorkers a year, serving some of the most vulnerable low-income communities in Queens. Chaya's financial counseling services have been a transformative force in the South Asian communities in Queens, New York, providing individuals and families with the tools they need to achieve financial security and long-term economic stability. Through personalized guidance, we help clients reduce debt, establish and build credit, set financial goals, and develop savings plans tailored to their unique needs. Our services also empower community members to open safe and affordable bank accounts, ensuring that they have access to secure financial resources that support their journey toward greater financial independence. By addressing key financial challenges and equipping clients with the knowledge and strategies to make informed decisions, we're fostering a culture of financial empowerment and resilience in our community. This critical work has been made possible throughout the generous support of the New York City Department of Consumer and Worker Protection, whose funding has enabled us to expand our reach and impact. With their support, we have been able to serve countless families who may have otherwise struggled to navigate complex financial systems. This impact of our work goes beyond individual financial success. It strengthens the economic fabric of the entire community by promoting financial literacy, stability, and growth. As we continue to provide these vital services,
Time expired.
we remain
Thank you.
committed to ensuring that the member of our community has the opportunity to build a strong financial foundation and toward greater, brighter, more secure future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'm now going to call the next panel on Zoom: David Kolodny, Shelley Miller, Milat Sayum, Ophelia Salgado.
Time starts now.
Good afternoon, Chairman and members of the committee. Thank you for the opportunity to testify in support of the renewal and expansion of the Low-Wage Worker Support Initiative. My name is David Kolodny. I'm the managing attorney for the Workers' Rights Program at Catholic Migration Services. Catholic Migration Services provides free legal services in the areas of immigration, tenants' rights, and workers' rights. I'd like to share some stories of CMS clients to illustrate the working conditions that low-wage workers face and how workers benefit from the Low-Wage Worker Support Initiative. First, our office recently represented 5 workers employed by 3 Midtown Manhattan dim sum restaurants. Our clients worked 12-hour shifts, 5 or 6 days per week, and received hourly wages ranging between $3.20 and $6.52, well below the minimum wage and without overtime. We filed a case in federal district court in Manhattan and ultimately recovered a settlement of $185,000 for our clients. We also recently assisted 2 workers who had worked at a Brooklyn bagel shop, working as much as 68 hours per week, and obtained a settlement for them of $165,000. I'd also like to share an example of a case that highlights the important role worker centers play. A couple years ago, several workers from a commercial cleaning contractor at Rikers Island went to a worker center called New Immigrant Community Empowerment in Jackson Heights. The workers were not only not receiving a prevailing wage, but they also were required to kick back a portion of their wages to their supervisors, between $100 and $200 per week, typically, out of their wages. We advocated to the New York Attorney General's office to open a criminal investigation, which they did, and that ultimately resulted in a settlement where 250 workers will split
Time expired. Thank you.
Slightly over $1 million. So we thank you for your consideration of the Low-Wage Worker Support Initiative and ask you increase funding from $2 million to $3 million per year. Thank you.
Time starts now.
Okay, we're looking for Shelley Miller.
Time starts now.
She's not there? Okay, Malat Sayum.
Time starts now.
Yes, thank you. And good day. I first want to say good afternoon and thank you, Chairperson Menon and distinguished members of the Committee for Work and Consumer Protection. I'm Shelley Miller, Director of New Ownership Opportunities for the ICA Group. We are worker co-op developers, advocates, and educators, and one of the original founders of the New York City Worker Cooperative Business Development Initiative, known as WCBDI, established in 2014. And I'm here today with my colleagues in the initiative to ask the Council to continue for the wonderful support you've given us over the last 10 years and to continue us in next year's budget and firmly into the future. As you may already know, the initiative has helped create over 1,000 jobs. More than 9,000 entrepreneurs have been reached with education and technical assistance. And we've created nearly 200 worker co-op businesses that offer higher hourly wages, better working conditions and benefits, and build wealth and equity for workers, particularly those from marginal groups, Black and Brown communities, a lot more women-owned businesses and immigrant-owned businesses, which is really important in today's atmosphere. Another notable quality is that more and more CBOs are becoming interested in helping to develop worker co-ops for clients they serve who face employment barriers so they can help to employ their own graduates, people with disabilities, the homeless, disaffected youth and veterans, recovering substance abusers, and those who are recovering from domestic abuse. And that's a new area that we are working with as well. We're working to make these businesses more and more sustainable. As through the pandemic, they showed that they were both more resilient and more sustainable to many other comparable small businesses. So the TA that we provided to them during that time and that we always provide during all time is
Time
really
expired.
essential
Thank you.
to these businesses. If I'm out of town, I just want to say in closing that we want to ask the council to continue to fund us and to enhance our funding to $5 million and $12.
Okay.
So we can.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to wrap up. We have to give everyone the exact same amount of time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And that's it.
Thank you. And Ophelia Salgado?
Time starts now.
Sorry, Milat, I was next in queue.
Sorry, we got out of order. So sorry about that. Yes, please.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, Honorable Chairperson Menon and distinguished members of the New York City Committee on Consumer and Worker Protection. My name is Melat Sayum, and I'm the Director of Political Affairs and Strategic Partnerships at the New York City Network of Worker-Owned Cooperatives, also known as NCNOC. We are the member-led local trade association representing worker cooperative businesses and democratic workplaces in New York City metropolitan area. I'm here alongside my colleagues from the Democracy at Work Institute, Center for Family Life, Northwest Bronx Community and Clergy Coalition, and our Advocacy Council members representing 10 other organizations that make up the Worker Cooperative Business Development Initiative. As many before us have shared, we are here during these unprecedented times to support immigrant worker owners in New York City, asking the New York City Council to continue supporting the expansion of worker ownership in next year's budget and firmly into the future. Since the inception of the initiative, we have created over 200 new cooperative businesses and over 1,200 new jobs that are not only providing higher hourly wages, but also building wealth and assets for individuals who are overwhelmingly BIPOC women and immigrants. We have seen firsthand how the initiative has served to bolster our sector, strengthening existing cooperative businesses and creating new ones. The initiative partners have collectively worked to create a comprehensive ecosystem of support for cooperative businesses that not only ensures the creation of new cooperatives in low-income areas, but also the technical assistance needed to sustain businesses and create jobs, as well as the education and outreach needed for communities, interested entrepreneurs, and allied organizations. We did a lot of work during the pandemic and brought in over 20 million in grants and loans to cooperatives to keep them afloat. And we did this with a 3.7 million budget. We asked City Council to enhance our funding to $5,097,082 in order for our initiative to double down and do the work that is essential for this economic recovery for cooperative businesses.
Time expired. Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity to testify, and we hope you consider us in the budget priorities negotiations. Thank you.
Okay, Ophelia Sagado.
Time starts now.
Yes, good afternoon, and thank you for your time, Chairman and distinguished council members on the Committee for Consumer and Worker Protection. My name is Ofelia Salgado. I am a corporate business developer at Sunset Park Center for Family Business. We are a 47-year-old social service organization committed to helping low-income Brooklyn families build sustainable futures. I'm here today to respectfully request, as my colleagues have, that the City Council continue its support for the Worker Cooperative Business Development Initiative by allocating $5.1 million for fiscal year 2026. Since joining WCBDI in 2014, CFL has incubated 27 cooperative businesses in domestic work, empowering over 600 women to control their economic futures. Each year, we train over 400 participants in business management and cooperative leadership and provide more than 250 business consultations, ensuring stability and growth for existing cooperatives. With your support, we've expanded our impact and now reach every corner of New York City. Notably, we launched Up and Go, an online platform where clients book services from worker-owned cooperatives. Since 2017, Up and Go has generated over $3 million, directly benefiting over 100 families, more than 100 families. Cooperative members now earn an average of $33 per hour. That's more than double the typical $16 per hour that a New York City domestic worker might make. More importantly, they have completely eliminated wage theft, which, as we've heard over and over again today, it's an issue, and that really helps us ensure safe and equitable working conditions. These achievements are possible only with the continued support of the New York City Council. Your investment in worker-owned cooperatives is crucial to combating economic inequality and building resilient communities. So on behalf of Center for Family Life, thank you for your commitment on equity, on economic equity, and we look forward to your continued support. Thank you.
Thank you. And our last panel is Ana Rodriguez, Clara Calvo, and I believe we need interpreters, Catherine Mersek, Evan Casper Furterman, Julian McKinley, and Christopher Leon Johnson.
Time starts now.
Ok, ya está buenas tardes, ya está la traducción.
Aquí estoy.
Ok, bueno, primero que nada, buenas tardes y gracias por darnos la oportunidad de estar en este panel.
Good afternoon. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to being in the panel.
Mi nombre es Ana Rodríguez, soy miembro del Consejo de Abogacía de las Cooperativas de Trabajos en la ciudad de Nueva York.
No te oigo, por favor, me repites. My name is Ana Rodriguez, and repíteme.
Soy miembro del Consejo de Abogacía de las Cooperativas del Trabajo de la ciudad de Nueva York.
I am member of the Council of Advocacy in the Cooperatives in New York. Sigue.
De NICNAC, conocido. Estoy aquí porque quiero abogar para el programa WCBDI.
I am here because I want to speak on behalf of the program WCDBI. Sigue.
Soy parte de algunas campañas para apoyar al desarrollo de la justicia económica y social, como por ejemplo
I am here to foster conscience I'm here to help foster the programs that develop economical and social conscience. Sigue.
También soy parte de la cooperativa de niñeras de Howard Care, donde ofrecemos servicios de cuidado de niños profesionalmente a diferentes organizaciones en sus reuniones anuales.
I'm sorry, I'm having a problem with the sound. May I ask her to repeat? Repíteme lo último, que el sonido está un poquito mal.
Soy parte de la cooperativa de niñeras de Howell Care, donde ofrecemos servicios de cuidado infantil profesionalmente a organizaciones que hacen sus reuniones anualmente, como por ejemplo los nepalíes, la Mixteca Organización, los de NYU y otros más que le
I
podría
am
nombrar.
here on behalf of the Highway Care. It's a child care, which holds annual meetings like Nepalese, Mixtecas. Sigue.
Fuimos creadas en el 2016 como una solución a la falta de comunidades unidas entrenadas para poder recibir y encontrar trabajo y sueldos dignos que permitan tener a nuestras familias y vivir en una vida estable.
We were born in 2016 as a result of the lack of support for communities and to find dignified salaries and stable situations. ¿Sí? Sigue.
El programa de WCBDI también le ha dado vida a diferentes industrias de cooperativas en la ciudad de Nueva York, como por ejemplo a las cooperativas de carpintería, a las cooperativas para cuidar personas de tercera edad y muchas más.
And
Yo
the
doy testimonio de que el mundo...
The WCBDI has given work to the cooperatives that take care of, for example, the carpenters and people who take care of elder people. Sigue.
Yo doy testimonio de que el mundo del cooperativismo ha venido a revolucionar y a mejorar la vida de muchos emigrantes que no tuvieron o no tenemos la oportunidad de recibir educación académica en nuestros países.
I am here to speak on behalf of the cooperatives because it allows people who are suffering with the immigration problems and people who didn't get education in our own countries. Sí.
Para nosotros las mujeres, la cultura influye mucho en las expectativas que la sociedad pone sobre nosotras y en las decisiones que podemos tomar.
For us women, we suffer a lot because of the expectations put on us. And
Time expired. Thank you.
Okay, se cumplió ya tu tiempo.
Okay. Bueno, de todos modos, yo les agradezco mucho que tomen en consideración apoyarnos. Sé que se terminó mi tiempo, pero quiero decir estas 5 palabras más.
Okay,
que vengo de la
thank you very
generación
much.
silenciada.
Perdón, déjame traducir, por favor. I want to thank you for for taking us in consideration, and I want to end with these 5 words. Sigue.
Okay, que yo vengo de la generación silenciada y gracias al apoyo de las
Sorry, we have to
cooperativas
give everyone the
soy
same
una
amount
mujer
of time.
libre
If
económicamente.
there's additional testimony that she wants to submit in writing, we're
Si
delighted
quieres
to take
presentar
that, but we
testimonio
have to-
adicional por escrito, lo puedes hacer en el portal.
Okay,
Está bien,
thank
gracias.
You, thank you very much. Thank you. And our next testimony?
¿El próximo testimonio está ahí?
Time starts now.
Sí, estoy aquí. Estoy aquí.
I'm here.
¿Me escuchan?
Sí.
Yo voy a decir una parte en inglés, lo que yo pueda, y después tú puedes traducir lo otro. ¿Me ayuda?
I will
Así
say
terminamos más rápido.
some parts in English and then you can help me, but I have it in Spanish actually. Okay. Dilo en español, por favor.
Okay.
Dilo solo en español.
Ok. Buenas tardes al Comité de Protección al Consumidor y a los trabajadores representantes del ayuntamiento. Mi nombre es Clara Calvo. Trabajo en Cooperative Home Care y también soy miembro del Consejo de Abogacía de Digno de la ciudad de New York. Vine a los Estados Unidos en el 1995 buscando una mejor vida para mí y para mis 3 hijos. ¿Puedo seguir?
Good afternoon, members of the Committee of Workers' Protection and members of the City Council. My name is Clara Calvo, and I'm a worker owner of the Cooperative Home Care Associates, CHCA, and in the Council of Defenders for the Cooperatives, the work cooperatives in the city of New York. I arrived to the United States in 1995, seeking a better life for my 3 kids and me. Sigue.
Poco después de comenzar en Cooperative Home Care, fui miembro de la junta directiva y me ingresé a todos los comités que había en dicha cooperativa. Gracias a WCBDI que nos ha apoyado a nosotros seguir trabajando en la comunidad.
Thank you to WCBDI for helping us continue working in the community. Also in 2001, I founded Cooperative Home Care Associates, CHCA. It's a company in the Bronx that helps home care workers. ¿Sigue?
Ok. Al igual que Cooperative Home Care, hay un sinnúmero de cooperativas que trabajan en la ciudad de Nueva York para ayudar a la economía de nuestro estado. Gracias a WCBDI de nuevo porque nos ha seguido apoyando a crecer.
Just like CHCA, there's a lot of cooperatives in the city of New York, such as Help for the Elders, cleaning, caregiving, and many more services that continue to help the economic growth of the city. Thank you again to WCBDI. ¿Sí? ¿Continúa?
Si las cooperativas crecen y si ustedes nos apoyan, tendremos muchas más personas que podrán unirse a nuestras empresas, construir manos de obra más segura y comprometida, dándole a la ciudad de Nueva York una ventaja de crecimiento.
If cooperatives continue growing and if you support us, we will have many more people who will join our businesses and build a working hand, which is way more committed and self-sufficient and allow New York to continue with its economic growth.
To grow up.
Thank you.
Su apoyo, su compromiso a las cooperativas es necesario y urgente. Nuestro crecimiento para que no seamos un número más de las compañías que desaparecen por falta de recursos económicos. De nuevo, necesitamos que nos tomen en cuenta durante el proceso de negociación del presupuesto de este año. Muchas gracias.
With your support and with the commitment from the cooperatives, it is urgent that. Sorry. So yes, your support and commitment is very urgent and important, so that we are just not another number of statistics of those small businesses that just disappeared. And we hope that you have in mind our priorities.
Esperado.
And thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes,
and
yes.
now Catherine Mersak.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity to testify online today. My name is Catherine Mersak, and I'm a worker owner at Samamkaya Yoga Back Care and Scoliosis Collective. We are a member of the New York City Network of Worker Co-ops, also known as NCNOC, which is a partner organization of WCBDI, which you heard about from my colleagues. Your support of our community of democratically run businesses helps to protect and create jobs for women, immigrant workers, and communities of color across the 5 boroughs and in a wide array of industries. I'm testifying today to urge you to continue to support the great work of WCBDI, enhancing their funding to $5.09 million, and to also support commercial rent stabilization to protect New York City's workers and small businesses from displacement. These measures help protect consumers and workers alike by creating stability and resilience in our local economy. My co-op, Samamkaya, is a very special little studio in Chelsea, specializing in therapeutic yoga for back care with classes both online and in studio. I'm proud to say my 19 other worker owners and I just celebrated 10 years of democratically running the studio together in the same space the whole time. To make yoga accessible to all ages and abilities, we use specialized rope walls and equipment, which incurred hefty startup costs that we are still paying back. Our cooperative business structure makes us unique among yoga studios in New York and is one of the reasons we were more resilient through the pandemic than many of the yoga studios that we sadly lost. Even though the pandemic forced us to close our physical space temporarily, we banded together to decide as a team how we would pivot, divide the labor, and we worked together to keep the studio afloat while making sure our teachers who most needed to work could keep teaching online and make ends meet. And that's just one example of how cooperative business can be really resilient. We were very grateful to have access to technical support from WCBDI partners and a couple small grants specific to worker co-ops. One example is NCNOC's Cooperative Sustainability Fund, which helped us pay for consulting sessions, which helped us manage some communication and distribution of labor challenges we faced.
Time expired. Thank you.
Thank you very
Okay.
much. Thank you.
Thank you. In conclusion, just please enhance WCBDI's funding to $5.09 million. There's more in my written testimony, and please support commercial rent stabilization for our wonderful
Thank you
community
very-
small business. Thanks.
Thank you very much. And our next speaker is Evan Casper Fetterman.
Time starts now.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Evan Casper Futterman. I'm the Director of Planning and Education at the Northwest Bronx Community Clergy Coalition, which is a 50-year-old community-led organization organizing people across generations for racial justice and economic democracy. Alongside my colleagues from the WCBDI, I'm asking New York City Council to support our budget ask of $5,097,082 in next year's budget. I'm speaking today not only as a practitioner, but also as a researcher and a professor who's taught for 8 years on topics of cooperative development. New York City Council made history by passing the nation's first worker cooperative business development initiative. Across this country, the work has continued to grow and adapt, all based on the courage and vision of champions in the New York City Council. Although the initiative works most closely with SBS, we're grateful for the support of DCWP over the past decade, which has supported our work, particularly through the creation of a report on strategies for building community wealth in New York City through the Office of Financial Empowerment back in 2019 and 2020. If you haven't read it, it's a really good report. Check it out. The creation of and support for worker-owned businesses is strongly aligned to the mission of consumer and worker protections over which this committee has jurisdiction. In addition to building wealth and skills of ownership, worker-owned businesses of all sizes have been shown in numerous studies to have increased job security, lower turnover, higher wages, more assets and wealth than their non-owning peers across age, gender, and race, and greater productivity and job satisfaction. Worker ownership supports the mission of consumer and worker protection by reinforcing and encouraging high-road business practices, which reduces the cost of enforcement to taxpayers and reduces the demands of staff of DCWP and other city enforcement agencies who have to pursue bad corporate actors who abuse workers. This is particularly true as well because of the kinds of workers and industries that WCBDI has engaged with, primarily low-wage, high-turnover industries where workers are commonly exploited and in which businesses are commonly cited for violations and illegal practices. Every dollar spent on worker ownership, every worker owner created, every new worker-owned business in our city means a better life for workers, fewer bad actors in our neighborhood commercial corridors, and better value for the public.
Time expired.
Thank you for the opportunity to testify today, and we hope you consider our budget priorities in the coming negotiation process.
Thank you very much. And our next testimony is from Julian McKinley.
Time starts now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, Chair Menon and distinguished members of the committee. It's an honor to address you today. I appreciate the time to share about our work at WCBDI and the importance of worker cooperatives. Thanks to the City Council's investment over the past 10 fiscal cycles, WCBDI has helped create and support a resilient employment and business ownership opportunities that are really unlike any other in New York or across the nation. The worker cooperative business model puts agency and assets in the hands of workers and their communities. They are a haven for workers in low-wage, high-turnover, and often exploitative industries who have been traditionally marginalized and excluded from the broader economy. In New York City, the majority of worker owners are immigrant women of color in industries like janitorial services, home health care, and child care. For example, cooperative home care associates who have already been mentioned on this during this hearing. Through worker ownership, workers within these businesses are able to bring home living wages significantly above industry averages. They're building assets that contribute to financial stability, building worker power and leadership, and transforming industry standards for the better over time. In fact, transformative industry models using worker ownership launched in New York City around home health care, starting with cooperative home care associates, are now being adopted across the country, including in Philadelphia and San Francisco. Since its inception in fiscal year 2015, WCBDI, with council support, has created more than 1,000 jobs and pathways to business ownership, created more than 200 new worker cooperative businesses that offer higher hourly wages, and have reached more than 10,000 entrepreneurs with education and technical assistance services. Worker cooperatives are unique in their ability to establish, grow, and retain community wealth, to make entrepreneurship accessible, and to create stable, dignified work. We urge City Council to continue investing in worker cooperatives through WCBDI by enhancing our funding to $5.09 million for fiscal year 26.
Time expired. Thank you.
30 businesses, and I thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your testimony. And next we have Christopher Leon Johnson.
Time starts now.
Hello, Chairman. My name is Christopher Leon Johnson. I am here to testify and show my support to two nonprofits. One, the Worker Justice Project that gets money via Third Second New England, and the Street Vendor Project that gets money through the Urban Justice Center. I am calling on the City Council to preserve their funding within this budget for FY26, I am calling for $3 million for the Worker Justice Project for DWCP, and I'm calling for $3 million into the street vendor project via DWCP. Both of those organizations do a lot of great work. Both of those organizations need a lot of help. We all know that right now there's a tremendous mayoral cycle, and I'm calling on the speaker to preserve their funding, despite the fact that you're running for mayor. These organizations do a lot of great work for the city. They do a lot of great work for the members. Remember, they're mostly migrants, good migrants that do a lot of great work. We all know that the Common Sense Caucus are anti-migrant, just anti-migrant in general. And I'm calling on the city council to don't listen to what they got to say and fund these organizations. At the same time, these organizations need to stay funded while the speaker is still running for mayor, because like I said before, I have a big feeling that the mayor, Speaker Adrian Adair Adams, is weaponizing the budget to make these two nonprofits that have a lot of sway within the city council, the Work Justice Project and Street Vendor Project, to support her campaign, and if they don't, they're going to be defunded. I'm calling on this you as the chair, Mrs. Menin, to make sure that their funding be preserved and they still get over $1 million in their budget through this fiasco cycle, despite the fact that Adrian Adams despite the fact that the Worker Justice Project is supporting Brad Lander for mayor and the Street Vendor Project is backing Jessica Ramos for mayor. So shout out to the both Worker Justice Project, shout out to what they do, shout out to the Street Vendor Project and what they do, and we have to preserve their funding. And make sure we protect our migrants, protect the good migrants that come out and bust their butt.
Thank you. Your time has expired.
Sell mangoes and ride and deliver food and medicines and
Okay.
and everything.
Thank you. Your
Thank
time
you.
is
Sorry, I'm gonna say more testimony. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we have one more speaker who just filled out a card, who I believe is here, Celestino Fuentes. Are you here? Okay.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Celestino. Yo vendo comida en Alto Manhattan. Primeramente, gracias por la oportunidad de participar y escuchar esta audiencia sobre el presupuesto. Estoy aquí para exigir una audiencia donde usted pueda escuchar las voces de los vendedores ambulantes. Necesitamos un sistema de venta ambulante que funcione. Queremos que apruebe la Intro 431 para que podamos obtener licencias y permisos. Muchas gracias, señora concejal Menin.
Hello, my name is Celestino. I sell food in Uptown Manhattan. First of all, thank you for the opportunity of participating and hearing this hearing about budgeting. I am here to demand a hearing. I'm here to demand a hearing where you are able to listen to the voices of the street vendors. We need a system, a vending system that works, a street vending system that works. We want you to approve Intro number 431 so we can be able to obtain licenses and permits. Thank you very much, Chair Manning.
Thank you. Great. Thank you very much. So if we've inadvertently missed anyone who registered to testify today and is yet to be called, please speak with a sergeant. Or if you are remote, use the Zoom hand function and you'll be called in the order that your hand has been raised. I'm just going to call three names who registered on Zoom. Khandakar Tafug Ahmed, Maria Gonzalez, Alex Stein. Are any of you here? No. Okay. So I'm going to now close the hearing. I first of all want to thank everyone who came out today on this very important budget hearing. We really appreciate all of your testimony, and thank you again for taking the time to be here today with us.
Still streaming. Okay, so then that